well.
Here is a can, and this delivery is short. Pulled down towards backward square. The fielder from square leg is coming around, cannot get there in time, and that's yet another boundary. So 4 more runs to the cause of the Aussies. It goes up now to 19 without loss. Australia just beginning now to get some momentum, with Travis Head going to 12 and Warner on 6.
I don't think the bowler, Bilal Khan, there genuinely tried to bowl a bouncer. He simply just dragged it down. If he did try to bowl a bouncer, he needs to give it a little bit more effort, because there wasn't much pace in that delivery. So I think he just dragged it down, and that was food and drink to the Australian opening batsman.
Bilal Khan, left arm over the wicket, and a drive in the air. He's up for that mid off. A drive in the air from Travis Head, and he drove it straight to mid-off. The catch was taken, so Oman getting the breakthrough. They went pretty close in the previous over, I suspect, with that LBW appeal. This time around, no doubt about it, Head driving to mid-off, and it went hard, but the fielder at mid-off just had to move a step or two to his right. He took the catch, and the first wicket has gone down.
Yeah, it was. He's just been pulled for 4, so he's now properly compensated. He's pitched it up, and he's got his rewards, and he's got somebody out that around the world haven't got out too frequently for cheap runs. Travis Head has been caught at mid-off, off the bowling of Bilal Khan, and to be fair to him, well bowled for pitching it up, making him come forward, and I would suggest he lost a bit of shape, didn't necessarily get his foot to the ball, he was a little bit leg side of it, and unfortunately he's gone. He's been dismissed for last man. I'm looking, he made 12 in 10 balls, caught at mid-off.
Well, Khalid Kyle doing a good job to hold on to it. Khalid Kale, he took the catch off Bilal Khan, and Travis Head gone for 12. So the breakthrough coming. Marsh has come to the crease at number 3. So the captain coming in at the fall of the first wicket. 19 for the loss of 1. We are into the 3rd over of the innings, and Marsh takes guard and now looks up and sees that Bilal Khan is at the top of his mark. He moves past the umpire. He's into bowl to Marsh, and Marsh gets a delivery which is just about the line of the off, maybe just outside. He comes across, pushes it up into the covers. That's the end of the over, and at the end of the over, the latest score at Kensington, Australia 19 for 1.
Well bowled, sir. They'll be celebrating in Muscat, won't they?
I think I got tricked there just now, because there's still another delivery to come.
Peaked too early.
Yes, I spoke too early. Well, you want to take any bets that the score will still be 19 for 1 at the end of the over?
Oh, never betting cricket.
I think Bilal Khan will cooperate with us.
Oh, you like him now. You like him.
Well, he had a pretty tough night not too long ago.
Yeah.
So he's looking to do well here. He's into bowl to Marsh, and Marsh gets a good delivery. That one brought him forward. He took the weight off, so he had to come forward and wait for it.
He did.
And he steered it down towards gully. Now it's the end of the over, no doubt about it. And the score, as I said, 19 for the loss of 1. The latest score.
What a good delivery. First up for the Australian captain to face. It was on line and length, and he's a tall man, and I think also the bowler's quite tall, so he got a little bit of bounce there, and the captain of Australia had negotiated that ball well. So end of the over. Australia have lost just the 1 wicket, that of Travis Head, but my word, I'm trying to look what time it might be in Oman now, but let's hope they're celebrating in Muscat. I think it's early morning. It's 4:46 in Oman.
But regardless of the time, why not celebrate in the streets? That's all part of the fun. You're not going to get Travis Head out every day.
No. How many have failed this year to get him out for a low score? In the IPL, he was absolutely magnificent. Very strong through the offside. Anyway, we've got a spinner into the attack for the 4th over of this power play.
Well, they've gone to spin quite early, and here he is, the first delivery, swung away through mid-wicket. That will go out towards the boundary. So what a greeting as Warner stepped back and just pulled that one through mid-wicket out towards the boundary for 4. What a way to greet the first sign of spin in this contest.
Yeah, that was sort of vintage Warner, the way he picked up the length so early. It was rather a quick possibly a round arm spinner where he just dragged it down. Warner was equal to the task and punched it through mid-wicket for 4.
Here's Shaquille again around the wicket. He's bowling!
Oh, no.
No,
Did
he didn't.
it come off the keeper's
It
pads?
came off the keeper's pad, it seems. Let's watch the replay. We watched the replay and see exactly what happened there, but it looked initially as though he was bowled. He's not, I can assure you. So those Warner fans, Yossi fans, you can settle down. Warner is safe and entrenched in batting as Shaquille comes into bowl and he drives up towards backward point, and there is no run. So still waiting on that.
Off the pads.
Off the pads of the keeper.
Yeah, even the Englishman got excited then.
Well, why would the English get excited?
When Warner was maybe out. Maybe.
Well, I would think the English would want Warner to have a good night now, so that he'd be due for failure when they meet him next time.
I like your thinking.
Here's Shaquille, and driven up into the extra cover region by Warner. There's no run.
Bowls quite quick, doesn't he, for a little off spinner?
He does, and let's see if that's his style, if he will continue to do that, or if we'll see some variations around the wicket as he comes again. The left arm spinner into bowl to Warner. Warner is playing this one away, pulling the man off the long on boundary. They'll get just the 1 run. So a single to take the score up to 24 for the loss of 1. And this brings the right-handed Marsh now on strike. So Marsh just faced the 2 deliveries so far. Travis Head gone for 12 off 10. Warner 11 off 11. That's pedestrian by Warner's standards. But I'm sure it's just a matter of time before he tries to open up Dave Warner. But for now, the attention is on Marsh, the Aussie captain, coming in to replace Travis Head, who was caught at mid-off by Cale off the bowling of Bilal Khan for 12. And here is Marsh waiting for Shaquille, the left-arm spinner, who comes off a short run and fires that one in. Turned up towards forward square. The batsman set off for a run. No attempt to really flight or any guile as such. Simply pushing it flat through. So he has completed his first over. And at the end of that over, the latest score at Kensington, it's 24 for the loss of 1.
The spinner there reminded me a little bit of an old West Indies sort of part-time spinner in Arthurton.
Oh, Keith Atherton.
Back in the 80s.
Keith Atherton, yes.
Yeah, little, because he'd sort of bowled slightly quick darts at times, but he was only genuinely a sort of
part-timer for sure.
Mind you,
yes.
How many part-times? Viv was only a part-time spinner,
yes,
wasn't he?
But I guess Viv was more practiced his part-time stuff more often than Atherton. Atherton was very, very occasional. Viv was a regular part-timer, if there's such a thing.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So we are at the start of a new over. Kalimula has switched ends. His right arm over the wicket into Marsh, and Marsh comes across and defends. The ball runs up into the covers. There's no run for him.
Never seen him bowl in my life.
Who's this?
Kalimula.
Uh-huh.
I quite like him.
You like him?
I do. I was quite excited at the other end. He bowls wholehearted. He runs in. He's a strong beast, and I think he's got quite a nice action. I'm impressed so far.
Okay. Well, he has certainly done a fine job, and runs away from us now as he moves into bowl to Marsh. Right arm over the wicket. Marsh stands up straight and plays it down towards mid-off, and there's no run. And I think what is happening here with Marsh is that there's no pace to work with. Kalimula, those 2 deliveries, just about medium pace, not making any attempt to blast the batsman out at this point in time. You've never seen him before, neither have I. Maybe, yes, briefly in the previous game, I believe. But I'm not quite sure how fast he's capable of bowling. But right now, nothing really in terms of pace for the batsman to work with. He's got to make his own pace. Here's Kalimula into bowl to Marsh. And Marsh taking just a step or two, and that's his response, a step or two. And then recognizing that the shot wasn't really on, he pushed it up into the offside and there was no run.
The thing I would say about him, there's not express pace, but he's tall. He hits the deck hard. He bowls he bowls a heavy ball. Yeah. He may not be express, but he hits the splice of the bat, which I think is quite impressive. So when he hits the splice, he doesn't hit the middle. A shorter bowler who doesn't hit the deck so hard will find the middle of the bat.
Into bowl to Marsh, and Marsh steers this one into the cover region, misfielded, so they'll give away a single. That's certainly a bit of annoyance, I'm sure, to the bowler.
Yeah.
But a single gifted to the Aussies, taking the score up to 25 for 1. Another thing about Kalimula, your friend, your newfound friend, is that he has a bit of variation as well. As you said, not express pace, hits the deck hard, but also takes the weight off sometimes.
Yeah. Well, look, he's just bowled a very good over here, okay? And he's bowled it at the new batsman, the captain of Australia. But with that misfield, they've got a single, and he's now having to bowl at Davey Warner. And you don't like it as a bowler, changing from left-hand to right-hand batsman.
Let's see how he responds as Warner comes across and steers it down towards the third man position. They'll probably try to push for 2 here. They'll come for it now, and the return is on its way, comfortably home. A couple of runs to Warner, and that takes the score now up to a 26 for the loss of 1 as Australia put into bat by Oman, a bold move, as you said, and the Oman team, you've got to admire them really, because they've not allowed the Aussies to really blast them all over the park. They're still in the game. They're keeping things relatively under control. Good stroke play too by the Aussies. So a pretty even battle so far, as this one is scooped in the air down towards fine leg. That's going to go for 4. Maybe I spoke too early. And a boundary that takes the score now into the 30s. In fact, it's up to 31 for the loss of 1 at the end of the over. The latest score at Kensington, 31 for 1 Australia.
Do you know what? I'm going to give him credit, not because I said I liked him, but I think he's bowled a really good over there. And unfortunately, the bowler there, Kasim Muller, wasn't able to get out of the over. He ended up bowling 5 good balls. He had a misfield which allowed the right-hander to get off strike to bring Warner on strike. And then the very last ball, it wasn't a bad ball. He's gone for 4, and unfortunately for him, I have to say the last ball cost him, but it wasn't a bad ball.
Not only that, I think you've got to put some of the blame on the fielder who allowed that single. But
correct,
that's a discussion that I'm sure Barry Wilkinson will be happy to have with you when he comes in. Shaquille about to continue from the northern end, and the new commentator is going to be Barry Wilkinson.
Good evening, Barry. Shaquille's going to start again. He bowled very quick left arm spin.
Here he comes in on goals. It's delivered down the length side. There's another stifled appeal. You get the impression Oman appeal more than the Red Cross, because everything they go up for, and they're very intent with it, very desperate with it, demanding with it. Well, and then they don't call for the replay.
That's right. Did you see that LBW appeal earlier? Wasn't it amazing?
Massive appeal, and then they don't go upstairs.
Theatrical.
Here he comes in now, the left arm spin on balls. This delivery is driven, not timed at all, out to the mid-off area, and there's no run.
I think you'd have to call Shaquille here. You'd have to call him. He's bowling the pace of Derek Underwood. Do you remember him?
Of course.
Sadly
he
passed away. He was. He almost bowled medium pace.
This delivery again is on land, the off stump, and driven nicely in the air out to the mid-off area. It's going to go into the boundary for 4. That was a very well timed shot there from the captain, Mitch Marsh. It was on the line of the off stump, and he forced it through the extra cover and mid-off, and he was able, once he got past the mid-off, to get it into the boundary. Very well timed, Mitch Marsh.
It was indeed, yeah. It was like a throwdown ball that you see these professionals and internationals have before the game. He did go in the air, but it just split the fielders at wide-ish mid-off.
Shaquille comes again and bowls to Marshall, tails away, punches this one through cover. Yeah. Not well stopped. He won't get 4, but he might get a brace. Nope, he actually just gets 1. So 1 more run there to the total.
Yeah, that was the run-scoring ball there. It was same pace, quite medium pace. Cutters, fingers down the side of the ball. Cutters from quite a smallish man, and it gave the Australian captain some width, but it was misfielded at cover, and they did get through for a single. So Warner is now on strike.
Warner's on strike, the left-hander, as the left-arm spinner Shaquille goes to Warner, and Warner's going for a big drive. Missed it, actually hit the pad of the keeper and deflected back to the bowler. So he's very lucky that wasn't pitched on. He would have been bowled and clean all ends up.
He was
Win
looking.
predictor and score predictor is saying that the Australians will get 180 if they continue at this particular rate. They're 37 for 1 ball left in over number 6, as the run rate is currently 6.3. Here comes the left-arm spin now of Shaquille and bowls, and this is what time Warner is driving the ball back to the bowler. What a great over that was. There's no run, and at the end of it, the latest score, 37 for 1, the Australians after 6.
Shaquille, 2 overs for 11. 2 overs in the power play against Australia. That's a pretty impressive stat for the moment. Well bowled him. And is it going to be Kalimullah? I don't think it is. I think he has taken a sweaty cloth and he's wiping his brow. It's going to be a new bowler into the attack for the... Is this the last over of the power play?
Yeah, no, this is the power play is over. The 6 overs are gone.
So this is the...
So 37 runs in the power play. That's average. Very, very average. For Australia especially.
Yeah.
You would expect that a score of 60 by the Australians in the power play is something that they would have been looking to achieve, given the fact that this is supposed to be the happy hour of cricket. You don't usually get the happy hour before the bar is really open, but the power play is supposed to be the happy hour, and it wasn't really, was it?
Well, let's just have a quick look then. Balil Khan, 2 overs for 12. Kalimullah, 2 overs for 13. And Shaquille, 2 overs for 11.
Yes.
Impressive.
And it's going to be then the bowling of Shakimal, and bowls this delivery. That's on the line of the off stump and driven straight to cover. There is no run. This is good bowling from Oman. I'm seeing great intent. Yes, against the Namibia side, it was a very low scoring affair. But they did limit Namibia to the same 109 that they made. That's why we went to the super over. So their bowling has not been bad. They have to work on their batting tonight and do a lot of work with that. But I think that the Oman team is not a bad bowling unit. Here he comes in again, the medium pace and bowls. And this one is driven
well
beautifully.
Fielded.
But very well fielded there at cover. Tremendous fielding there from Shaquille Ahmed in there in the covers. Diving to his left and stopping what was a certain boundary.
Absolutely. Brilliant bit of fielding. That does wonders for the bowler in that situation. Had a ball of width, but beautifully fielded. He took one for the team there, didn't he?
Yes, he did. So here he comes again, Imran Khan, as he steams in and bowls, and this delivery is hit in the air, out to the backward square boundary. Of course, with the power play done now, we'll give you the field in a second, because you now have the fielders well spread. You now have a fielder on the backward square like boundary. There's a mid-wicket on the boundary. But, you know, it always gives that challenge to the fielding side when you've got a left-hander and a right-hander. You always have to change the field up. Even the umpires are switching. Joe Wilson is making that switch from backward square to backward square because he doesn't like to stand in front of the batsman. And that's pretty good. Some umpires don't care. They just stay there at the point.
Do they? Right. No, professional, they do move across. To be honest, you've talked about that. Bowlers hate left-hand, right-hand combinations.
Yeah, it does.
I did throughout my career.
It
Never
throws the line
enjoyed
off.
it.
It really throws the line off.
Does.
You have to be a very, very good man to concentrate. Ryan Hines bowled well in his left-right combination, probably because he's a left-handed himself.
Right. Some bowlers like to move a little wider.
He's coming around the wicket to the left-hander. This is a full toss, hit in the air, over the cover, backward of point. That's gone into the boundary for 4. What a poor delivery. A full toss. It was a gift. And it was struck over the head of the backward point fielder, and that went into the boundary for 4 more. Very poor bowling there from Imran Khan. Deserving the treatment from David Warner. He rushes up now to 21 from 16, and it's 43 for 1 in 6.3.
Yeah, the wideish ball, full toss. He was able to play sort of in to out to get it over backward point. So credit to David Warner, who found the gap in the outfield.
Imran Khan, as he comes in again and bowls to Warner, as he passes the umpire, and Warner gets the delivery this time on the line of the off stump again, plays it backward of point, straight to the fielder. That's Khalid Kyle, who is there at the backward point position. No run. So David Warner, a lot of talk about young McCurk playing, should have been playing for Australia. You think he deserved the chance to play for the young dashing opener from Delhi Capitals?
Yeah, he had a very good, I think he was desperately disappointed and possibly a bit unlucky.
Can bowls again to Warner, who's driving straight to cover. Spectator's catch. Topley was going up with that. He was thinking that's a catch. No, it's not.
I was excited.
Not even Oman appealed. That's a huge.
No,
That's a big cue.
I listen. I always celebrate an Australian wicket.
I wonder what you're going to be doing on Saturday.
Hiding behind
Oh,
the
man.
seats.
I hope you're not. If you're hiding behind the seats, that means you're not doing well.
Yeah. No, it'll be a nervous game
Big
for
game,
me.
big game on
huge.
Saturday. As Can comes to again and bowls to Warner. Warner's driving and he's missing it. They're appealing for a stumping and then going upstairs. So Joe Wilson says we're going to go upstairs and have a look at that. There was Miran Khan with the keeper up onto the stumps, the left armour, and he bowled the ball to Warner, who missed his balance, missed his footing, and it meant that the stumping might have been affected because he might have been out of his crease.
TV umpire to
Let me
direct
tell you
us.
just a minute.
We have an umpire.
fall
release.
out
Let's
of
go
his
to the,
crease?
let's go to
I've
the
checked the
TV
feet and
third
it's
umpire.
bad
We have that
density.
mic.
Can you
Let's
give me
go
the
to
best
TV
side
umpire.
on angle, please?
Well, we were here in the third umpire a moment ago.
Decision pending. It's tense here at the Kensington Oval.
It is
Let's
Has he
look at
grounded
it.
now.
fallen out of his crease? I think he's okay.
Foot is
He's
grounded. Just to
okay.
confirm, can you
Not
give me
hitting
the
it yet.
opposite side, director?
No, so he's good. So Warner lives to fight another
Yeah,
day.
copy that.
The third umpire you can hear saying that his foot was grounded. I thought that was a very ambitious appeal, but what else can you expect? We're looking at it again on the replay. The ball was gloved. Warner foot
Yeah, foot is grounded.
was perhaps in the air for a marginal half a second, but when the bails came off, his foot
Still
was grounded.
grounded.
So umpire Joe Wilson not making the decision, going upstairs, but the third umpire saying that he is not out. And that third umpire tonight is Mr. Madan Gopal from Sri Lanka.
Was that a good piece of keeping?
It was okay. I mean, he didn't affect the stumping.
So Warner survives, and it's going to be a new over
Yeah, so a new
and,
over.
and a new bowler. I don't think we've seen this chap yet. I think this is Akib, who's into the attack from the 3W's end. The Worrell, Weeks and Walcock stand. What a beautiful stand. Resembles something similar at Lord's, but we're in Barbados.
Yeah, it is. It's very much a la Lords. As it's going to be the new bowler now comes in and bowls to Captain Marsh, who's on the front foot, plays the ball square to the offside, and there's no run. What do you make of Mitchell Marsh as a batsman? Do you think he's overrated, or do you think he's that good?
I think he is a good player. I'm a little bit... I don't think his bowling is up to as much as some people think. I think he can bat. I think he is a magnificent striker of a ball, and he plays particularly well pick up and through the leg side. But what a great family. Sean Marsh, his brother, just retired. And what about his dad, Jeff Marsh? He was a decent player.
I think that Mitch Marsh, I don't know, I think he's slightly overrated. I'm going to look at his career in a second. As this delivery is outside the line of the off stump, Warner hammers it into the offside. Let's have a look at Mitchell
God,
Marsh.
you're a hard taskmaster.
Age 32. Let's see what the details
He's
are telling us.
overrated.
9 half centuries in 54 T20s as a major batsman. 9 half centuries in 54 T20s. You're playing as a batsman. Come on.
Are you talking about just T20?
Yes.
But he's only recently gone up the order.
Doesn't matter. You're playing as a batsman. You only got 17 wickets. You're not playing as a bowling all-rounder. You're playing as a batting all-rounder. As it's a major role, and you average just over 30 with 9 half centuries in 54 innings. I'm not that impressed with Mitchell Marsh.
Has he always batted in the top 4? No. This is played down to short,
But
fine leg.
he's batted 52
no run.
times.
Yeah, okay, but that doesn't mean he bats in the top order. When you're a utility player down at 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8, you don't always have opportunities in a good side like Australia to build innings. He does today.
This one is swept and swept well. Beautiful shot back with a square. What a great player he is.
Yeah, that was a good shot. He sweeps, slog sweeps and sweeps well. He does. He's a very strong player on the leg side. I remember commentating once at Chelmsford where he got a majestic 100. But I will concede with you that I think his bowling is okay. I don't think his bowling is much stronger than just
17 wickets in 54 matches in T20s.
Yeah.
Don't forget, he came back into the team because Cameron Green was failing.
Yeah, he was.
And many people felt that Marsh is a better cricketer than Cameron Green, and he got back his play. So, at the end of 8 overs, the latest score is Australia. They're 50 for 1.
Yeah, they've started okay. They're looking to build now. Keever's just come on. He went for 7. He bowled a little bit of both little, what I call leg cutters, along with the odd little bit of off-cutting as well. He bowls maybe to the left-hander a different delivery than what he bowls to the right-hander.
Yeah, you're right. And the Australians, I don't know if they'll be happy with this particular start. 50 for 1. The pitch is good. How do you rate the pitch? The pitch in New York is an absolute sham.
It's a bit of a worry,
oh,
isn't it?
Oh, my goodness me.
And we're going to have India-Pakistan play on it.
On Saturday.
Whoever
bats first, I think will lose the game. Here comes Miran now. Bowls, and this time Marsh is going for a big drive. Doesn't time it. It's very expansive, coming off the inside edge, and there's no run.
You asked me what I thought of the wicket. Look, there's been a few inside edges. For me, traditionally, if a batsman or a team inside edges a lot, it often means it's slightly slow, maybe too paced at times.
No, I agree with you.
We've seen a few inside edges.
So Moran goes back to his mark. There's a short third man, a backward point. No sweeper. There's extra cover, though, as he comes in and bowls. And this delivery is hitting this in the air. Out to the mid-on area. Is he caught? He's out caught. Mitch Marsh, the overrated Aussie captain, gone. Caught at mid-on.
Well, I've got to concede. He's gone after the shorter boundary here onto the leg side, which is his strength.
A lack of thinking.
Maybe.
Now, that player was moved from long on into the mid-on in the last over. So he moved from long on in the last over to the mid-on.
Perhaps
set him up with a slow delivery, and he hits it straight to him. Lack of tactical thinking by the captain, Mitch Marsh. And now he's gone.
Well, maybe he's gone big for his team. He's leading from the front, and he hasn't found the boundary. He's simply found the man, really, who didn't move. I could see him just below me. He took it. He didn't move. He took it with an Australian-type catch with fingers pointed up into the air, and he snaffled it up easily. And Australia have lost their captain and their second wicket. Now, can the Omanis just apply a little bit of pressure? And if they could get Davey Warner out at the other end, they'll have 2 men in, 2 new batters at the crease, and a little bit more pressure for them. Glenn Maxwell, who had an appalling IPL with the RCB. Now,
in fact, it was so appalling. He actually dropped himself.
He did.
He said, well, look, I'm crap at the moment. Please sit me out.
Yep.
I want to miss at least 4 or 5 games, and I'll come back. And when he came back, he was still crap.
He was, and not only did he not really incur the wrath of Andy Flower, the coach at RCB, he was dropping catches with a degree of lack of confidence, not just in his batting, but his fielding.
Here comes Moran now and bowls to Maxwell, who's driving, and it's brilliant! Oh, that's a spectacular catch! Catch of the World Cup. A ball that was pitched on the line of the off stump, and Maxwell for an expansive drive, and it was plucked out of the air from Kyle, like if he was Greg Louganis diving for an Olympic gold. What a tremendous catch that was.
Unbelievable. Oh, so exciting. Glenn Maxwell has had so many first ball ducks of recent time, and he adds another one to his wallet tonight. My word, they'll be dancing in the streets of Muscat this morning.
I don't think Glenn Maxwell knows what has just hit him. There was a Moran bowling on the line of the off stump, Maxwell tailing away. He hit that very powerfully, and there was a little cube diving to his left and plucked it out of the air with tremendous skill and speed and athleticism. Take a bow, ICube. That was sensational.
If you're listening across the West Indies, the Caribbean, get on social media, because that was a unique, that's going to be one of the top 3 catches of this World Cup.
Well, when things are not going for you, they're not going for you. Glenn Maxwell has had a horrific year. He's had a horrific year. And when you have such a horrific year, people tend to catch you with those spectacular catches. That just happens. Wow. I'm breathless. Really speechless.
He's taking his pads off. He's walking towards the port. He's going to get the next boat out of here.
Oh my goodness.
Poor
He doesn't
Glenn
have to go too
Maxwell.
far because we're right next to the port here in Barbados. It's 50 for 3 then, and we are on a hat trick. So Moran is on a hat trick. This is the second hat trick of this Cricket World Cup in terms of being on a hat trick. We had one right here with Namibia and Oman. The first 2 balls at Kensington Oval we were on a hat trick. So let's see what Moran is going to do. And as the new batsman is Marcus Stoinis, averages 29.38, and he's played some just 29 T20s. Stoinis' career is still building. Would it be good to have seen perhaps a Steve Smith coming in now? What do you think?
Well, no, I don't. No, sorry, I'm not so keen. No,
Not so keen. All right,
no,
let's see.
I know.
Hat trick ball. Here comes Moran and bowls. The hat trick delivery that's driven along the carpet straight to the long off, and there is 1 run. So the hat trick is negated. 50 for 3.
Well bowled, medium pacer. That's all he is, and he's taken him. Well, he's got a couple of wickets. What a catch! We're seeing another replay. The young man who caught it, well, he's ecstatic. He's got his arms in the air. He's taken it. Do you ever remember anyone in this commentary box, a goalkeeper called Peter Bonetti?
Oh yes.
Oh yes, Chelsea goalkeeper. It was a goalkeeper's catch. That was beautiful to his left.
Here he comes in now and bowls to Warner, and Warner is wrapped in the pad, or no? That actually beat Warner, and all ends up. It's taken there by the keeper, and there's no run.
Well, they're up for it here. The men in red with little green patches along their sleeves and down by their torsos, really.
It's interesting you talk about Peter Bonetti, because you guess what year he died in?
Oh, blimey. I reckon it was about late 90s.
No, 2020.
Peter Bonetti died in
2020.
2020.
That's significant because what are we playing? 2020.
Oh, very good. Do you know what? And you're wearing a very nice Chelsea blue.
But don't associate me with Chelsea, please.
2019
Don't associate
World
me with
Cup.
Chelsea. Don't
Well,
associate me
World
with
Cup
Chelsea.
top. Can I say how nice you look in that blue?
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Second compliment I've got for the night, and I accept that. I thank you so much for that.
2019.
2019.
There's been a few World Cups since there. You've not been.
Well, there's been one 50 over World Cup, which was last year. This was the 50 over World Cup in 2019.
Who won that?
That was the one that was England. England won in that historic game at Lord's.
Wasn't it?
Johnny Barron, my good friend. Hello to Johnny. He's on the he was on the commentary then.
What a lovely man.
Oh, brilliant man. Brilliant man.
Do you know he comes from my county, Suffolk?
Suffolk, that's right.
Very
I
sleepy,
spoke
very
to him
quiet.
recently, a couple of weeks ago. So we're going to have a new bowler now. As this one is a switch hit. He's appealing for LBW. There was Warner looking to switch hit, missed it, taking on the pad, and there's no run.
Kibin is bowling his second over from the 3W's end stand, and they're just talking, they're asking, but I don't think they're going to go up.
Time is gone.
Oh.
Or have they
just got it in?
That's what they call a buzzer beater. They're going upstairs on the buzzer. On the buzzer. Let's have a look at it.
We have a player review
Let's
for
hear what the third umpire
LBW.
is
Original decision is not out. I've checked the feed. It's a fair delivery. Can we start with front on spin vision, please?
Just didn't seem too right to me.
So you hear the voice of Jaraman Manugopal. He's the TV umpire, the third umpire. He's now reviewing it. Let's look at it. It was pitched on middle. That could very well
Just
be
rock
out.
and roll that for me one more time.
Let's hear the umpire.
Hit the glove, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, clearly off the glove. Satisfied, glove involved. Joel, stay with your decision of
came off
not
the glove,
out. I'll
not the
let you
pad.
know when you're on
I
screen.
thought I hit the pad. Okay, so it hit the glove. He got away with that because I thought it hit the pad. If it had that hit in the pad, it might have been out.
Yeah, definitely hit the glove.
So he's lucky. Very, very lucky. Yeah,
Warner.
definitely hit the pad. So good decision there from the third umpire, Jariman Marangopal, as this delivery is short and cut straight to the backward point area, and there's no run. So that means that Warner lives to fight another day. He's struggling a little bit for form tonight. 23 from 23, 4 fours, not his usual float self. Here comes the left arm spin again, and this time delivery brings him on the front foot, pushes into the offside, and there's one run. Akib Ayas, who's that tremendous fielder.
He's bowled quite a good over here.
Yes, he has.
He really has. He's varied his pace in those last two deliveries. A little bit slower that last ball. Warner played it in the offside. Really good cricket from the bowler and indeed the batsman.
We'll look at the career of Marcus Stoinis in a minute. If you thought that I was hard on Mitch Marsh, then you probably put the phone down in my ears when we talk about Stoinis. Because in 59 T20s, he's had 2 half-centuries.
You weren't a schoolmaster in your previous, were you?
I look at stats. You've got to look at stats. When you're studying low mat, you have to look at what the stats say. The stats tell a story. Here he comes in again down bowls, and this delivery brings the batsman forward. He's driving nicely out to the long off area for 1. So Marcus Stoinis, aged 34, he's not a spring chicken at all. 59 T20s, batted 49 times, 940 runs, highest score 78, averages 29.3, and he has 2 half-centuries in his 59 T20s. How do you rate that?
He's a bit of a shoot or bust man, isn't he?
29 wickets.
Probably plays poker.
I think so. Short ball, cut away. There's a fielder on the sweeper. They might get a couple. They get one. They come out for the second. They get the brace, and those 2 runs will take the total now to 55. Is it 55 or 57 for 3?
Is there anyone in world cricket that plays at 5, 6, or 7 that you do rate?
Of course. The players who get runs and actually do well for their country.
Okay.
Here he comes in again in bowls, and Warner's driving, not cleanly at all. Straight there to the fielder, and there is no run. The over ends. The latest score, 10 overs gone, 56 for 3 here at Kensington Oval. As we welcome for the first time Ryan Hines, and it's going to be Philip Hackett to return. Let me tell you first, as we are at the water break, BetCageSports.com, cricket and sports fans. BetCage Sports is now live in countries throughout the West Indies. Wager on your favorite sports, teams and players, both at retail and online. Visit BetCageSports.com today and start winning big. BetCage Sports, the West Indies' newest sportsbook. CG Insurance, good like that. Inter-Caribbean Airways, now flying directly from Barbados to Jamaica and the entire Caribbean. Timeout Car Rentals, giving you 10 to 20% off if you call Eon Gill now at 428-8463. That number, 246-428-8463. He'll give you a discount right away if you book your car rentals today. Banks Beer, the beer of Barbados. Wabisco, National Petroleum Corporation, Barbados National Oil Company, Crumbs Bakery, so good, right down to the last crumb, and the Student Revolving Loan, giving you money to fund and fuel your education. Ryan Hines, and then it's going to be Philip Hackett. Ryan, are you happy with what you've seen so far?
Good evening, Barry. Good evening to the listeners. And I miss you today. I miss you this morning. I'm very happy. I'm impressed with the fielding effort of the Oman team. They won the toss and they elected the field, and they were electric. I've had the opportunity to witness the Oman team versus the Barbados select team a couple of weeks ago, and they were very good in the field. Good evening to you, Philip. I'm pretty sure you've been impressed with what you've seen thus far.
Well, I really have to admire the Oman side. They have come here and they've shown that they're up for the battle. We know that they are fairly capable when it comes to bowling and fielding, because we saw them defend 109 runs against Namibia. They didn't necessarily set the world on fire with their batting then. They will have to do so now, though, because whatever Australia can score, Australia has the type of attack that they'll give nothing away. So whatever score is posted by Australia, I'm sure the Aussies will be confident that they can defend it. It's 56 for 3. And Warner unbeaten on 26 off 27 balls. Travis Head, he was caught by Cale off the ball and Bilal Khan for 12. Mitchell Marsh, the captain, he was caught by Shoaib Khan off the ball and Mehan Khan for 14. 14 off 21 deliveries. Glenn Maxwell, well. Probably the highlight of the evening so far. Brilliantly caught by Akib Ilyas off the ball and Mehan Khan without scoring first ball. And Marcus Stoinis are not out to having faced just 2 deliveries. 56 for the loss of 3. And we are about to resume after the water break.
Yeah, brilliant block of 10 overs. Oman, any team bowling first to have a powerhouse team, Australia, 56 for 3. I mean, you'll be happy with that any day.
I would think so. 56 for 3. And if they can pick up a couple of wickets here immediately, then it will really set the Aussies back, because Australia obviously will be looking to up the tempo during this segment. And this first delivery resumption is stroked up towards mid-off. There is no run. So a lot depends now on Stoinis and David Warner, the combination of the right-hander and the left-hander. And it's Stoinis who is on strike, facing just the 3 balls so far. And Miran, who has already picked up 2 wickets, continuing from the southern end, bowling his right arm medium fast stuff. He runs away from us. Moves past the umpire now. He's into bowl to Stoinis, and Stoinis is playing down towards long off. Gets a single this time. That will push his personal contribution up to 3. And the overall score on to 57 for the loss of 3.
What we can see here in terms of the field place, a third man up finally out the bowler with a deep backward square, deep wicket, long on, long off, and a deep extra cover. Clearly, they're looking to bowl into the surface. You know, we're playing from the western side of the facility. Pitch number 5 is a new pitch tonight. It looks a very good pitch as well. But
so Mehran coming right arm around the wicket now to the left-handed Warner. Warner gets a delivery which he is stroking up towards long on. So once again, rotation in the strike, as Moran is somewhat on the batsman's pads. Not a young man by any stretch of the imagination, Moran Khan, 37 years old, and has played some 38 T20 internationals before this. High score of 29. But of course, his bowling is what we're focusing on right now. 28 wickets in his 38 matches. And well, he'll give you his economy rate after this as he moves into bowl to Stoinis. And Stoinis is driving off the inner portion of the bat. It goes up towards mid-wicket. The keeper giving chase and keeping the scoring down to 1. Just covering in the end as mid-wicket came in to keep the scoring down to 1. So, well done by the pair of Stoinis and Warner, keeping the scoreboard moving. As I said, back to the economy rate of our good friend Miran, under 7.
Yeah, it's excellent bowling. They're bowling against a powerhouse team who very good at global events, Australia. And, you know, this is really good showing from the Oman team. And hopefully they can continue.
He comes in again to bowl to... He is getting an appeal here for leg before. There was a batsman looking to do the reverse sweep. Got all tangled up. The ball just went into the pad and went away. Not too far away from the keeper. The appeal went up, but you didn't get the impression there was that conviction.
Yeah, it was a confident, that confident appeal. You could tell also from the wicketkeeper. But what we are seeing here from Moran, he's bowling excellent line and length. He's giving nothing away. Bowling into the pitch and straight.
Well, he will try again as he continues around the wicket to the left-handed Warner. Warner is waiting for him and comes forward cautiously, stroking it up towards long off. This is really a different Dave Warner, recognizing the situation for the Australian side and making sure that he's not going to give his hand away. So that's the end of over number 11. And after over number 11, the latest score at Kensington, the Aussies 59 for 3.
As you spoke about Warner playing out of character, you speak about situation awareness after losing a couple of wickets and not wanting to lose wickets in bunch, but still wanting to bat deep into the innings. We all know Warner's a guy that can change gears. You know, this is a really keen contest, and what we would have seen, they would have made a change. The leg spinner was bowling from another lane, brought off the off spinner. He's getting a bit of grip, but he seems to be a tidy off spinner.
So we continue as last over producing just some 4 runs, so good over. as the new over begins, and Warner stroking this one up into the covers. The return comes in, powerful return, but the run easily measured, and it's an easy single in the end. It's a single that takes the score up to 61 now for the loss of 3. So the innings being rebuilt somewhat here now by this partnership, and they need to do that because, as I said before, if they were to lose a couple of quick wickets at this point in time, that would set them back even more. Akib coming into the attack again. None for 11. He's had 2 overs so far. And he is in to bowl to Stoinis. Stoinis is playing this one up towards long off. Gets a single. That was a good delivery, though. He came forward. I thought he got to it a bit too early. But in the end, no harm done, really. He played it down towards a long off for a single, Ryan.
Interesting tactics here for Akib. He's bowling off breaks to the left-hander and leg breaks to the right-hander.
Okay.
That's really good control.
So he is coming around the wicket, and this delivery is squeezed, I would say, out towards point. They're able to get a run. He was looking to give himself room to bang it through the offside, David Warner, but that didn't work. It probably got a bit choked, I thought, and the ball just went into the offside. The batsman alert, indeed, and going through for a run. So they're taking the opportunity to utilize whatever opportunities there are for runs as Akib continues, and he's going to be bowling now to the right-handed Stoinis, who comes forward, and the keeper taking off those bails very quickly indeed as the bowler stands and watches. You were saying that, Ryan?
As we can see the replay, like I said earlier, he's bowling off spin to the left-hander and leg break to the right. I mean, that's excellent control to do that, to left and right.
Well, if you're impressing Ryan Hines when it comes to bowling spin, you've got to be doing something right. Here's a ball that brings Stoinis forward up towards extra cover. This is really good bowling. You really have to admire the Oman team here, though. They look as though they belong. This doesn't look like a contest of a superior side against what people often call the minnows. This looks like a real cricket contest. And even if Australia can prevail in the end, you've got to admire the Oman side. Here's a ball that is played down towards the short point region. The keeper just came from behind the stumps to pick it up. The end of over number 12, and at the end of it, the latest score at Kensington, Australia, 63 for 3.
I agree with you, Philip, in terms of the way how they're going about their business. The game against Namibia, I trying to defend 110 runs. They did an excellent job. They got it to the Super 50 over, and the experience of Risa took them over the line. But what we're seeing here is a continuation from that in terms of their discipline. They're very disciplined, not blessed. The attack is not blessed with pace, but what we are seeing here is good variation and quality bowling in terms of trying to stifle the Australian team, not allowing them to get their way. And this is a good contest. In terms of a predicted score, what do you think?
A predicted score? Well, had those 2 wickets fallen, had they been able to push through, then I think Australia would really be under a lot of pressure. But the longer Warner stays there, we know Warner can make a difference. And if Warner stays there long enough, they can still get up to 150 or so.
I agree. Well, 8 overs left. We will see how many they could get. I believe that Warner batting deep into the innings is going to be crucial. You know, Matthew Wade.
The players who can play,
yes.
But David Warner is special, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Even as a veteran, and that's the advantage too. He's so experienced that he knows when and when not. And I think he's going to be the key as to if they can get past 150 or if they'll have to settle for something less than that. Here's the start of over number 13. Turned away out towards forward square. They go for 1. They're thinking of 2, but not a good idea at all. And the return on the bunks coming into the bowler and keeping the scoring down to just 1.
As we are seeing the left arm spinner back into attack. I thought he bowled beautifully early on, and then he's going to, from what I see, he's not a big spinner of the ball. He's looking to dart the ball into leg stump and arm the ball at the left hander. So what he's doing, he's going to create that angle to get Davy Warner to go across the ball, but also bowling straight at Stoinis.
Here is Zishan, and played away up towards the extra cover. Just the 1 run. There's a man on the cover boundary, and a single, which brings the left-handed Warner back on strike. So the total moves up now by 1 to 65 of the loss of 3. Here is the left-handed Warner facing the bowling of Zishan. And he comes left arm over the wicket to the left-hander. Flight to delivery, and there's Warner coming down. They'll have to hurry for the run. The return comes in. The wicket broken, but well measured by Stoinis, who backed up well. But there was Warner coming down the pitch, and then he had to check it because he was somewhat tricked in the flight. He thought the shot was on, had to make the adjustment, but experience again, good enough to open the face and pick up a single in the offside.
Good cricket, bat and ball. Zishan is watching Davy Warner. You know, Davy Warner likes to move around the crease and he's keeping his eye on it, and excellent feeling as well to coming in almost a bit of indecision there, but they made it in the end.
Yeah, and plan A and plan B, and in the end, David Warner chose plan B. Had to go for the single after the shot wasn't on. Turned away up towards the long on position. Easy run this time, and a single that pushes the Aussies up to a 66 now for the loss of 3 in over number 13.
Yeah, what we are seeing here in terms of teams doing their homework. You know, Ross and Chase, when they had West Indies visited Australia earlier in the year, we would have seen in terms of the T20 how effective the slow bowlers were against the Australia team.
Yes, and Zishan, another experienced player in this Oman side, 36 years old. Left arm over the wicket into Warner. Warner flicks this one away, gets it past short fine leg. Backward square comes around, but cannot get around in time. That goes for 4. So well played by Warner, and the bowler just earned slightly, just outside the batsman's legs. And that's all Warner needed. He picked the gap expertly, beat the man at short fine leg, and the man coming around from backward square, 4 runs.
Yes, beautiful wrist work and awareness there by David Warner to get it to the right of the short fine leg and to the left of the deep square, and that's excellent placement.
Well, the Oman team certainly sharing the bowling around. 6 bowlers used so far. Zishan is flighting this delivery, driven through extra cover, more runs here. That goes out towards the boundary as well. And maybe Zishan just releasing a bit of the pressure here with a couple of loose deliveries. And Warner says, thank you very much. I'll have to say once again, Ryan Hines, that final total will depend heavily on how long Warner stays at the crease.
I agree with you, Philip. But again, bowler trying to overcompensate, and he offered up a bit away from side of All-Step, and Warner with all his experience, just ease that through extra cover. Wonderfully played shot, well executed. And David Warner is one of those type of guys that can score 20 runs in an over.
But he claims the 40 off 36 delivery, still pedestrian by his standards, but very appropriate given the situation that he found himself with. Australia 3 wickets down, with just over 50. Maybe not so much an issue with the pitch, but some good bowling on the part of the Oman side. At the same time, though, maybe a bit of a surprise that no one has actually attempted to intimidate them, to bully them, so to speak. So there's that respect coming from Australia. Here we see the start of a new over and a ball which the batsman didn't know a whole lot about, but he somehow gets it down towards third man for a run. The umpire comes across and makes the signal of leg by. A stifled appeal, nothing really to shout about, so to speak, but a single nevertheless to take the score up to 76 for 3.
Well bowled by Akib. Again, looking at ball straight, and I want to just slide onto the batter's spot. And excellent bowler, not looking to give any whiff at all. So there's really good cricket here.
Here's Akib around the wicket to bowl to the left-handed Warner, who uses his feet, doesn't really get hold of it. It bounces almost harmlessly up towards cover, and there is no run for him. So Warner comes down and looks very suspiciously. There's a bit of gardening, as they used to say. Don't necessarily hear that term so much now, Ryan Hines, and maybe Ryan Hines is saying, well, Philip is old school. Here's a ball that is worked down towards long on by Warner. The patience of this man really admirable. He's just biding his time, Dave Warner. You can feel that he's actually just biding his time, and at some point in time, if he isn't dismissed, you could be sure he's going to let loose. So they've got to try to get him out. It's not just a matter of keeping him quiet, because he will not allow himself to be kept quiet throughout the duration of the innings. Here is Stoinis again, looking a bit uncomfortable, and once more somehow gets the ball down towards just behind where a slip would have been. There was none. He got back onto it this time, and a single to him as the score moves up by 1. It's now up to 77 for the loss of 3.
It was seen as though he took a bit of an outside edge, and a chance there by Stoinis. Again, excellent bowling from Akib. He's bowling wicket to wicket, 1 or 2 balls sliding in, and then what we would have seen earlier to David Warner, a lower trajectory. So he has the lot in terms of his variation.
Yes, definitely an opportunity missed. Here's a ball that is swept, not powerfully, but somehow he gets it down towards deep mid-wicket for a single. A chance missed, but I think really if you look at it, the keeper may have come up a bit early, and having come up, wasn't able to really hold on to the chance. Not the easiest, but one that they certainly would have wanted to take.
Agreed. You beautifully summed it up there, Philip. probably needed to stay down a little longer.
Akib into Stoinis. Stoinis drives down towards long off. And a single, which takes the score up to 80 now for the loss of 3. And that means that the over has been completed. So we have now had, some 13 overs completed. And at the end of over number 13, the latest score at Kensington, Australia, 80 for 3.
Yes, a very good cricket from Oman. They're keeping it tight. When we look at the playing 11 from Australia, but interesting not to see Pat Cummins. Is that a bit of a workload management?
Probably. He's got a big game ahead of him at the weekend, so maybe he's saving himself. Probably thinking that maybe Australia can get past the Oman side without him.
Yeah, he probably went deep into the IPL as well too.
Yes.
So in terms of their preparation, though, they would have played a couple of practice matches with 9 players.
Yes, that's a whole story in itself. The way the IPL has impacted this whole thing, that's a major discussion. In fact, it has been something that has been spoken about. I must say it seems a bit ridiculous to me, but maybe I should stay away from that discussion given the way I feel about that right now. I don't think it would be anything that one would necessarily want to hear at this point in time, because it really, to my mind, is simply ridiculous. The timing I'm talking about of the whole exercise, and you're coming into warm-up games and you only got 8 and 9 players, I think you're really making a mockery of the whole exercise. Well, we are at the start of over number 15, and it looks as though it will be Moran. Yes, Moran will bowl what? Let's see. Will this be his final over? Yes, he's got figures of 2 for 12 so far. This one in the air is going to fall safely out towards the deep point area. They'll come back for a couple of runs as the return comes into the keeper, and 2 more runs, but not convincing. Well placed, even if not intentionally so, and they were able to pick up a couple of runs, Ryan. You look baffled.
No, not like look baffled. I saw a message came out to the 2 batters. It seems as though they're going to go after the bowler with 5 overs left. I think this is a business thing,
yes.
though.
Well, yeah, they've got to do something soon. I mean, at 80 for 3, I think the consolidation period now must come to an end, and they're going to overdrive now as Moran is up to the wicket to bowl to Stoinis. And Stoinis is hitting this one in the air, down to long off. It's going to be a tricky catch, and he cannot take it. In fact, he goes over the boundary with it. He did take it, but it took him over the boundary, so that's 6 runs. I would say good judgment, but then didn't have the control of the body to be able to catch it. And you see those amazing catches nowadays. That was not the case this time around, but I thought he did well to judge it to get to it, because it was tricky, and he did come in initially and then have to run back, but in the end it's 6 runs.
Yeah, 6 runs, 6. You see, probably misjudged it. Yes, he did misjudge it.
He misjudged it initially, but then had to adjust.
A bit earlier.
Yes, he came in
it's
early.
It's never easy on the legs.
Yeah,
so.
He came in early, but then he adjusted well and was able to get to it. Had he not misjudged it, he may have had better balance and been able to do something. Here is a ball that's again hit in the air. No doubt about this. That can only be caught by someone behind or on top of the hospitality stand next to us. That's a convincing shot. That's 6 runs.
Same thing we spoke about just now in terms of that message from the dugout. You can see clearly that this is business time. They're looking to maximize these final 5 overs, and we will see. It'll be interesting to see the final score. But once these 2, Stoinis has a reputation of it gets ball striking, and it'll be interesting to see how they go about and which areas they target at this facility in terms of looking to score.
Oman needed to pick up a wicket or 2 between over number 10 and over number 15. They didn't do that, and these 2 are now set as Moran up to the wicket to bowl to Stoinis, and Stoinis is driving back to the bowler, and there is no run, a dot ball. Goes into the scorebook, goes into the computer, goes into the tablet. They're using tablets nowadays, Ryan.
That's like goal at this time. When we see him, he's bowling really well. And like I say, 50-50 in terms of the batters looking to go after him. I thought he was excellent. His first 3 overs were brilliant.
Well, it shows the importance of being able to take wickets. They took some up front, but then in the middle, the Aussies were able to consolidate. Here's Moran, and looking to drive. That's a powerful flat shot, and yet another 6. But this is one with a difference. It was struck powerfully and straight and flat, and 6 runs from the time it left the bat.
Excellent executed shot. That one was flat. And as you can say, kept his balance. Moran tried to bowl straight, and Stoinis was up to the task, and he was able to caress that. It was a beautiful shot. You can see 18 plus runs from the over, and you could clearly see the plans here from the Australian
And
team.
that brought up the 100 as well in the 15th over with just, one ball left. So I did say 150. You weren't brave enough to come up with a score. But I wouldn't push you for that at this stage as Moran is into ball to Stoinis. And Stoinis is lifting this one again over the head of long on. That's gone for another 6. This is carnage now. And at the end of over number 15, Australia now beginning to really lift the tempo. 15 overs gone, and the latest score at Kensington, Australia put into bat 100 for the loss of 3. More from Ryan Hines, and then to take you through to the end of the innings is going to be Andrew Mason.
Beautiful ball striking, 4 sixes in that over. Unlucky not to get the wicket, but having said that, I thought it was, Stoinis played really well in that over, and he maximised that over, Andrew. And, we're in for a really good final 4 overs here. There's going to be fireworks, these final 4 overs.
Yeah, indeed. It's been wonderful to watch the batting of these two players. They've done a great job. And at the moment, 106 for 3, 15 overs gone. What's your prediction here? You think they'll maybe get to 150, even more than that? We shall see.
150, I believe, Andrew.
You reckon? So let's continue. It's a situation where the score is 106 for 3. And it's the left-handed batsman who's batted pretty well here, Warren. He's gone to 42, and to this delivery, which is on the line of the leg stump, looks to swing it in the onside. It's the pad, dribbles away down towards that short third man position, and the score goes up by 1 to 107 for 3. The crowd is not big, just a simply the spectators. You reckon maybe 1,000 or so?
Yeah,
less
I
than
mean, for this billing tonight, Australia versus Oman, this is a decent crowd.
It is indeed.
Not many would have been or favor the Oman team, but I'm pretty sure a lot of persons here come to see how Australia going to go about their business.
107 for 3, 15 overs and 1 ball gone. And Ahmad will continue the attack. He's going to bowl to Stoinis, who's got 35 from 20. And let's see what happens here. It looks as if we've got a free hit. Yes, indeed, a free hit. What happened there? The umpire Wilson signal that free hit. And just trying to work out exactly what would have happened. But in the meantime,
it's naughty at this stage.
Naughty,
of the game,
very naughty indeed by Ahmad. He'll continue the attack, and he'll bowl to Stoinis, who's a very aggressive player, a very, very good one. He comes on his way. He's in and bowls, and he's swinging the ball away. That's going to go down towards that wide long on area, just a single. Would have been looking to do a lot better than that. He gets the run to carry the score to 108 for 3. We're into over number 16, Ryan Hines.
A very good delivery. You could clearly see that he bowled it into the surface and into the stumps. And Stoinis was able to get under the delivery, and well bowled.
Yes, indeed. 109 for 3. And Ahmed will continue the attack. Looking to stem the floor here. These two have done a wonderful job as he starts to move in. Bowling from the northern end, the Joe Garner end, comes up on his way to bowl to Warner. And Warner is getting a wide ball and flashes it square in the offside. Had to chase after that down to backward point. In front of the Greenwich Indian stand. The fielder comes across to pick it up. The batsman gets a single to go to 43. And it's now up to a make it 110 for 3. Over number 16 being bowled. It's been a bit quiet in this over so far, right?
Yeah, but just clearly see the left looking to bowl into the surface. He's not going to get full at all because these players can hit the ball pretty far.
When he comes in again, Ahmed, and to this delivery, a ball which is driven aerially down towards that long on area by Stoinis for a single. I think he'd be happy with this because he hasn't conceded the boundary.
Very much so, very much so. Clever bowling. He's watching the batters. They're moving around in the crease and he's following them. And that's really good cricket. Very good. This is good cat and mouse here, Andrew.
Cat and mouse, 111 for 3. And let's see what he does here. Can he keep it quiet? He's going to bowl to Warner. And to this delivery, Warner is not hitting the ball properly. It's the bottom of the bat. Squirts out towards that mid-on area. The bowler picks it up and just a single. So Oman would be quite happy at this stage not to concede the ball. In fact, we've had, 4 balls and 4 singles?
Yes, again, good bowling. But we do, with 2 balls remaining, you can also get 12.
Yeah,
spoil the over.
You're right.
But we will
right.
see how he finishes
and
out
so
the over.
often in cricket, you find that last ball conceding a boundary. We shall see. Stoinis settles and waits. It's 112 for 3. And Ahmed, left arm orthodox spinner, comes into bowl to Stoinis into this delivery. He's hitting the ball over the bowler's head, down towards that long on area for one. They look for the second. The return comes in, and they get 2 good aggressive running. That was played away. The long on and long off converge, and they were back for the second.
Very good feeling, good partnership feeling at long on and long off, and also excellent running. So good cricket.
Here's the last ball now. Are they going to concede a boundary? We shall see. Happens so often. I think if you do an analysis, you'll find that many bowlers actually concede a boundary off the last. I'm sure that Ahmed wouldn't want to do that. And it's 114 for 3. And you'll continue the attack. Just trying to get the long off to come across to the left. There's a wide long on as well. Mid wicket on the boundary. There's a short fine leg. And there's a backward point. There's a man short, third man. There's also cover. And there's also fielder in that extra cover area in the boundary. Comes up now. He's in both of Stoinis. Stoinis is forward, drives back to the bowler, who makes a very good save indeed. Had that gone past him, it would have gone down to long off. The end of a fine over, an over in which there were just 6 runs scored. At the end of 16, 114 for 3. The latest scored Kensington.
That sums up Oman's discipline. You see it telling that over. He not looking to spin the ball. He as you would say, bowling darts. So he was bowling into the leg stump to the right hander and looking to get Davy Warner to cut, because the shorter side is over on the eastern side, bowling to Davy Warner. So this is excellent bowling from the left arm spinner. Very, very clever. We will see in terms of the final 3-4 overs how they're going to plan the overs.
Now, Ryan, you've had a chance to do pitch. What do you think of it?
I think it's a very good surface. It's a very good surface. What I can say is that
much better than the first night.
Yeah, much better than the first night. But what I can say is that Oman has bowled well. They contributed to really good competitive cricket tonight. The Australians were not, thus far, not allowed to get away. But you never know, in 2-3 overs, things can change.
Yeah, you're right. So we've got 4 overs left now, Ryan Hines. 114 for 3. What kind of score you think that the Australians will get here?
I'll agree with Philip, probably 150. Mm-hmm. What about you, Andrew?
Well,
are you on the fence tonight?
No, I never agree with Philip. You like that, don't you? So, I think they could get there. These 2 batsmen are set. I mean, Warner's 45 from 42. Stoinis has got 39 from 24. No doubt they're looking to really push on here as we look towards the end, as Can comes back in the attack, as he comes in on his way to bowl to Warner, and Warner is going to bowl right in the block hole, digs it out, gets the run. Very well bowled indeed, as it's played away off the bottom of the bat, down towards that long on area. What a good start.
Very good start, Andrew. You must be impressed with the way how Oman bowl and feel it tonight.
Yes, I agree.
Very, very impressed.
This is why they beat Barbados.
Very, very impressed. They're executing their plans to perfection today. And hopefully we can see how they're going to go about in terms of the planning of the over, the construct of the over.
Yeah, you're right. So 115 for 3. Can decides to go round the wicket. Now, what do you think is his thinking here to Stoinis?
I believe he's looking to bowl full and wide based on the feel that he has. His
full and wide.
Fine leg is up.
Right.
Square leg is up.
Yeah,
so
you're right.
Straight
you're right. You know your cricket.
I believe he's looking at the ball
round
full
the
and
wicket,
wide.
elbows pumping, comes in to bowl to Stoinis. And this he pitched up, he whips the ball away. Now that's gone for 4. It's gone through mid wicket, came right across the stumps and helped it. A lovely turn of the wrist and impact. That's gone for 4. And a welcome boundary to Australia. In over number 17, did it go to 119 for 3.
It was smart planning from Stoinis. He looked at the field before he received the delivery, and he saw fine leg up, square leg up, and the ball with what we call in Bajan parlance a cow corner, which is a straightish mid wicket. And what he would have done before the ball, he went outside off and he flicked that one square. And
very intelligent cricket. But he's really batted well. 119 for 3. And can round the wicket, comes into bowl to Stoinis to this delivery. He's pinned it down towards that short third man position. Will get a single. That ball was outside the off stump, looking to go past short third man. Was not able to do that. But he gets the run. That's important. And Australian over number 17. They go to 124-3.
This is a very good innings here from Stoinis because of the fact that Warner we can clearly see that Warner looking to bat through the innings.
Yes.
And this is what we speak about in terms of the more experienced side, being able to read the situation and play accordingly and adapt to the situation in the game.
You're right. Warner's 46. Stoinis has got 44. And Can comes in to bowl to the batsman who's looking to be cute. That you could only describe. But the pace was taken off of that as well, and the ball actually went behind him to the keeper, who took a ball that was down, got his body in front of it, because sometimes that could actually go past
I
the
believe
keeper.
that was an excellent take.
Very
because
good take
he probably
indeed.
was onside because Warner was looking to reverse sweep.
Yes.
And like you said, he landed on the half volley. He was able to make a really good stop, and that's brilliant keeping.
So 4 balls gone the over, and just 6 runs scored. Here's Can comes into Warner. Warner gets one down the leg side. It's not going to be called a wide. It is down the leg side. The pace was taken off. Warner would have been disappointed. Didn't get back into that and maybe go past that short fine leg position. A wide is called by the umpire, and Australia now go to 121 for 3 in over number 17. What is he doing here? He's looking to bowl at Warner's pad. What is he
Yes,
doing?
he's looking because Warren looking to stay leg side of the ball to
Okay.
access the offside. Probably looking to hit over extra cover or get it between the backward point and third man.
When he
He's
comes
very
in
good that
again,
area.
on his way, this is Can bowls to Warner. He's down the pitch when he gets there, almost swats it down towards that long on area. The bowler saw him hit it into the pitch. Good thinking, and Warner simply just can't get a boundary here. It's been rather quiet in the last couple of deliveries, with one to come in over number 17, Australia 122 for 3. Here's Ryan Hines.
According to you, Andrew, we're seeing a wash pan of common sense here
Yeah,
from the
yeah,
Oman
yeah,
team in
indeed.
terms of how they're bowling, their plans. I
Yes.
spoke about the construct of the over and how they put it together, the deliveries, and this is really good to see.
Okay, the last ball is about to be bowled. And let's look at that. Look into your crystal ball. Will he concede a boundary here? We shall see. He comes round the wicket on his way to bowl to Stoinis, into this delivery. Full, and he swings it. Where's that goal? That's gone for 6. Over the mid-wicket area. I'll tell you that. In fact, you know what happened? It's also no ball as well. Oh my God, he can't spoil it like that, Mr. Can. It was a full toss, swung away over mid-wicket, and he's also bowled a no ball, so free it is an offer for Australia. They go to 129 for 3. Ryan, you're holding your head.
He spoiled what would have been a really good over. You know, the pressure, I believe the pressure, he knew that Stoinis was looking to maximize this delivery. And, you know, he served like a juicy full toss. And,
Yeah, juicy, very juicy.
and with a free hit. the
Free
next
it as
delivery.
well.
Oh.
So double trouble. Yes, indeed. It was very, very sweet indeed. Reminded many
And
when...
what we're seeing here is Stoinis bringing up his 50.
yeah,
well
from
played
just
50.
27 balls.
Very good in
Tremendous
Took the
performance
pressure
from him.
off of David Warner as well, too.
Indeed. So afraid is an offer. 1 ball to come in over number 17. Australia go to 129 for 3. Do you think they'll get 150 or slightly more?
I believe that they can get slightly more once these two can continue. And what we can see, what we are seeing here, Andrew, we can see why Australia win at global events. The way how they go about their cricket, in terms of their planning and their preparation leading into the World Cup, that might have been questionable because they would have had 9 players available due to the fact that other players were at the World Cup. At the IPL, sorry. But take nothing away from this Australian side. They're very smart in terms of how they go about their cricket.
Yeah, well, earlier today you said New Zealand, you said Australia, you said England, the West Indies. I made a note, you know. Australia, you have Australia in there, New Zealand, England, and the West Indies. Is that right?
I stand by that, Andrew. I stand by that. When you look at the last couple of years, particularly in global events, you can't cook New Zealand out.
No.
You can't cook
Not at
Australia
all.
out,
Very good
England,
team.
and also the West Indies. Due to the fact we won this tournament 2 years,
Right.
Twice, not 2 years, or 2 different occasions. I believe the squad that we have, and we know the conditions.
Right.
We know the conditions. That's why I would have gone for those 4 teams.
Okay, so Ryan Hines, his predictions, we will make primetime sports tomorrow morning, I can assure you, all across the world. 129 for 3. So 1 to come and over number 17. Let me remind you, a free hit is an offer. And no doubt this batsman will be hoping to get another boundary, maybe a maximum. As we welcome all of our listeners wherever you are across the network, thanks to our sponsors who have come on board to ensure that the broadcast is heard, as they say, from near and from far. So, 1 ball is left in the over. A bit of a delay. What's going on there?
Field change. They went to change the field, but you can't change
No,
the field.
no, you can't
for a
do
free
that.
hit. You have to keep the same field.
With the same batsman, you're
For
right.
the same batter.
You're right. The same batter and not batsman.
There's a term.
Do you like that, though? Do you like batter? Anyhow, after this delivery. So the free hit is an offer. Here is Can with a shadow alongside him. Comes up now, he's in and bowls. And the ball pitched up back to the bowler. burst out of his fingers and will come down toward that mid-on area for one. So he will be happy that he just conceded 1 run from that free hit. 17 gone, 130 for 3 is the latest score at Kensington.
He might be happy with that one run in the last delivery, but the delivery leading up to that, he might have been disappointed. He wanted to finish out the over well. And, again, you have to remain focused. You have to be calm, particularly in these situations. In terms of the surface, Andrew, what are your take on the surface?
Well, I think it's okay. I mean, it's much better than the first night. Maybe a little bit slower towards at the beginning, but I think it's panned out quite well. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I agree. But over the years, Andrew, the Kensington has not been generally quick, if we are being honest. But it's a pretty good surface tonight, to be honest. Like I said, the Oman team bowled pretty well on it. They used the surface well.
Well, Ahmad to continue. We start over number 18. He will bowl from the northern end of the ground, under the lights at the region's Mecca. Comes into Stoinis, who's got 51 to this. He backs away and just strokes it down towards that long on area. Lovely flowing shot, just a single. Would this be your favorite pitch to bat on when you played Ryan Hines? I know you like Grove Park.
I love playing it. It's always an honor to play at Kensington. I enjoy playing at Kensington.
Maurice Foster always told me the sighting was absolutely brilliant.
Beautiful.
He really liked batting here. Good old Maurice Foster. We never turn the ball through a pipe. As it's Ahmed comes in bowls, and Warner's down the pitch when he gets there, swats the ball over that wide long on area. That's going into the party stand. That's going for a big 6 by Warner. Well played to him.
I believe that's also his 50 as well too. Jordan, well paced, smart innings from David Warner. I'd say clever batting, because what the bowler would have done, he saw it coming and he pitched delivery back. He was able to use his hands and got out to the left of lawn. Again, expert batting from David Warner.
He's gone to his 50. No, you're right, but he's really decided to bat through the innings here. 137 for 3, 17 overs and 2 balls gone. And you never know, they could maybe get 160, 170. Here is Ahmed, the left arm spinner, uncomplicated, long off and long on, right back. He comes in and bowls to Warner, and Warner's looking to play that reverse sweep. The ball goes by to be taken by the keeper. The score is kept to 137 for 3. Ryan Hines, the former West Indies all-rounder, is very much a part of the commentary team, along with Don Topley, would have played lots of cricket for Essex. Here we go, as this delivery is pitched up on the line of the leg stump, played away down towards that long on area. The batsman is Warner, gets a single, and with that he now goes up to 53, and the score is up to 137 for 3, with 3 to come in over number 18.
You can see at the North striker there, Warner is very disappointed that he did not maximize on that delivery. But what I would say about batting, Warner's a guy that play over 100 test matches. It's important to have players who can bat in T20 cricket.
You're right.
Batsmanship is also important.
I agree with that. Here is Ahmed, comes in, bows to Stoinis. Stoinis is forward, digs it out, plays it down to backward point. The return comes in, and he gets home. Had that hit, I think he would have been in some trouble. Went down to backward point. The fielder decided to throw towards the non-striker's end, and there was Stoinis to get it into his crease. Have a look at that. Here we go. Might have just made it. You think he would have been in some trouble?
I believe he would have been home.
Yeah, I think so. The evidence of what we've seen in the big monitor, he would have been home. Here is Ahmed to continue. It's 139 for 3. 1 to come in the over. He's in and bowls. And there's the batsman looking to swing it at it. Hits the pad. And Warner does not get a boundary. At the end of over number 18, 139 for 3 is the latest score at Kensington.
At this stage of the game, that's a very good over.
Very good over
Apart
indeed.
from the 6, he was able to...
In fact, 9 runs in the over.
That's a very good over at this stage.
You're right.
At this stage, it's a very good over. And again, in terms of the planning of the over, Andrew, that was very, very good.
Indeed. So, we got 2 overs left, 139 for 3. Are you going to make an adjustment? You said 150. Are you going to give him 10 more? Still 150?
Probably might get close to 160. Probably.
Okay, 155?
This over will give you a good gauge, Andrew.
Yeah, well, we just have to wait and see what happens here. But it's been a wonderful partnership of 89.
Excellent again.
Top men coming together at the region's Mecca.
The importance of batsmanship and having a guy of the quality of David Warner at the end, the experienced player. One of the few players who played all formats of the game. He recently retired, but that's the importance of having a guy like David Warner at the,
You're
at the
right.
other end.
So Kalamula comes back into the attack. Now he opened the ball and looked pretty good as he starts his run, comes in to bowl to Stoinis to this delivery. Pitch up, he drives over the top of that short third man down to the boundary for 4. Pitched up outside the off stump and went hard at it. Got a lot of balance to that and it raced across the outfield like a shot from a gun. 143 for 3 and Stoinis goes to 57. We're into over number 19.
Yeah, a bit of length and width. And so Stoinis was able to free his arms fortuitously, getting that ball over third man. And again, we're going to see how this over. The beautiful thing for Stoinis, he was able to get a boundary off the first delivery over. We're going to see how this over is going to pan
It
out.
always puts pressure on the bowler.
Always.
So Kalamula to continue. How will he respond to the challenge here under the lights at Kensington? Short third man inside the circle begins to move in. Here's Kalamula as he starts to go past the umpires and then both pitched up and he's driving. Where's that gone? That's gone away. Oh, a ball pitched up. There was the batsman coming forward and driving it over the top of long off. That's gone for 6. He made that look so easy, Ryan Hines.
Effortless.
Oh my golly, that was sweet. Sweeter than the Julie Mango.
Effortless. He was able to a little bit of a pause afterwards.
Indeed. He was
enjoyed
posing
that.
for the cameras.
He enjoyed
Wonderful.
that. This is a brilliant innings.
Brilliant
for Stoinis.
innings. It's
Brilliant.
absolutely brilliant.
I believe he changed the course of the game.
He
as
has
well, too.
indeed. And that's what top players do for you, Stoinis. He's gone to 63 from 32. And the Aussies, 149 for 3. And, of course, they're made up of some tough men. And they know that if you feed your faith, doubt will starve to death. Have you heard that before?
Yes.
If you itch for success, then keep on scratching. Here we go. Here's the lead pitch up and it's driven down towards that long off here. Kalamula's in, a slow ball. And Stoinis, very easy on the eyes, gets a single to go to 64. And the Australians 150s come up on the board now, 153 in over number 19.
We might have to make a slight adjustment.
I would agree with that.
But I'm disappointed with you, Andrew. This morning you brought your plums. You say you're going to bring a bag of plums for me and you share with Mrs. Stowe.
Yeah,
Good evening to you, Kevin Stowe.
Yeah, but he had all my plums, yes. Well, indeed. So got some lovely plums at my house. I'll bring some for you tomorrow.
Thank you.
If I'm allowed to bring, because the birds are eating them and the monkeys as well. Not necessarily in that order. The monkeys are really terrible in Barbados, aren't they?
Oh.
Here's Kalamula. He starts his run. Comes up now. He's in and bowls and Warner gets one, which is the line legs and rips it into the onside. Gets one. We'll come back for the second, surely. The return is about to come in and Warner jogs the second run. It's easy now for the Australians. After a bit of a stutter, these two have really come to the party. 152 for 3, 2 to come in over number 19. Warner continues to bat very well indeed here at the region's Mecca.
I agree, Andrew, and the importance of batting deep into the innings. Both players would understand the pace of the pitch, what the bowlers are looking to do, and they were able to counter that.
Yeah,
this is
indeed.
really good cricket. We saw some good cricket and good phases of the game.
Yes, indeed. So Warner settles and waits. A great player. Waiting on Kalamula as he starts to move in on his way, operating from the southern end, comes up and bowls to Warner. Warner gets the ball short and hits it in the air, up towards long off. Will the catch be taken? He's out. Warner goes. Oman strikes. Well, a ball that was outside the off stump hit it down towards long off. The catch is taken. Warner departs. 152 for the loss of 4 in over number 19. That's the latest score at Kensington.
Very good delivery there. He would have made a slight adjustment in terms of the line. And that, I believe that one had a bit of pace on. He's a tall man, a strapping man. We can see he's very tall in stature, Andrew. Very well built and a good delivery. And I believe that one beat it for pace.
I think so as well.
And a very good judged catch running around at low off.
Yeah, you're right. Your assessment is spot on. That's why we pick you and pay you big bucks, Ryan Hines. You're doing a wonderful job. You've gotten, in fact, Basil Morgan says hello to you.
Good evening to you,
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah,
Morgan.
good old, yeah.
Lovely human being.
It's an honor there in this country as well. Yes. Hello to my good friend Basil Morgan. So 152 for 4, 1 to come in over number 19. Australia recovered quite well here.
Oh yeah, definitely, and we have a powerhouse in Tim David.
Yeah,
These
Tim
guys
David
have
to
depth
come.
in the squad.
Yeah. Do you like Tim David?
Yes.
Do you like his name?
I think he would have played his trade for Namibia.
Yes,
and
he
because
did.
of his performances in the World Cup a couple years ago.
He's been able to get
and
into
then
the
he was able
strong
to-
Australian
a very
side.
strong, so
This is not an easy side to get into,
so
you know.
that speaks to his ability
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the quality
Tim
that
David.
he possesses.
He's a very, very dangerous man. Tim David comes to the crease now. He comes, the happy hour started a couple overs ago. Australia, they've recovered quite nicely. They're 152 for 4, with visions, I would imagine, of making over 160, maybe pretty close to 170, we shall see. We're under the lights at Kensington Oval. Let me tell all of you, the weather's been absolutely brilliant in Barbados today. Not a drop of rain. Here we go. As Kalamula comes up now and bowls the ball, which is outside the legs. I'm playing away down the backward square for 4. Oh my golly. Where did that come from? David inside of his stumps and helping the ball down to backward square. That was very easy indeed. The 19th over comes to an and 156 for 4 is the latest score at Kensington.
Not only was it easy, Andrew, you saw the timing on that. Wow. These guys have some really good bats these days. But that was a real execution. A back of the arm, slower delivery. And Tim David was equal to the task. He watched the ball. He kept his eye on the ball. He was able to execute a really good shot behind square. The final over coming up, Andrew.
Final over to come up. Of course, BetScageSports.com. Thanks for your sponsorship, CG Insurance. We got into Caribbean Airways. We want to thank them for coming on board. Time Out Car Rentals. Of course, we want to thank Banks Beer the Bear, Barbados, Wabisco, National Petroleum Corporation, Barbados National Oil, Crumbs Bakery. So good, even down to the last crumb. You didn't get any crumbs today, did you?
I didn't get any crumbs
Okay, you
today.
get some tomorrow.
But I'm getting something excitement tonight.
Indeed. All right, so who's going to bowl the last over? Is it going to be Can? As he comes up now, he's on his way, he's in, and bowls are all pitched up and driven firmly down towards that long on area. They don't take a run. What's going on there? Can you tell me?
I'm surprised.
Oh, the ball went down to that mid-on area.
I'm pleasantly surprised, Andrew.
And they did not take a run. Is that about arrogance? What would have happened there? Stoinis didn't take a run. He's 64. It went down to long on and did not take a run. Well. Here we go. As Can comes up now, bowls to Stoinis. Stoinis is hitting the ball in the air, up towards long off. Will the catch be taken? It dropped. Oh my golly. Coming off the boundary at that long off area. He should have gone with that very easily indeed. Just trying to work out the field is number 8 on his back, but he floored it.
Yeah, he floored it, Andrew. I mean, he covered a lot of ground. He got there, and he spelled it. And then again, after not taking the delivery, taking a single, the ball prior, and then to be dismissed the next ball, we were questioning the thinking of Stoinis.
I agree totally with that. Well. 158 for loss of 4. And here is Can. Comes up on his way. He's in both to Stoinis. Stoinis is forward. Whips the ball away. Where's that gone? Out towards that square leg area. Gets one. We'll come back for the second. No, he won't. The return comes in. And they just get one. 158 for 4 with some 4 balls to come. Oh, and it's now a situation. In fact, 3 balls to come now. Stoinis 67 and David has got 4.
Good start to the over, Andrew. In turn, you can clearly see he's looking to take pace off the ball and not allowing the Australian batters to get under the delivery, because this is a short side hitting to the poor area. So this is clever bowling by the left arm seamer.
Yes, indeed. We're getting some greetings coming from our friends in Trinidad. They're saying they're listening to the broadcast and they're enjoying it immensely. Here's Can. Comes up now. He's in. Bowls to David. He's down the pitch. Drives. The ball goes by to be taken by the keeper. A dot goes into Ryan Hines' book, and that's like gold.
Oh,
dust.
yes, it is. This is a really good constructive one. We can see where he look at the ball.
Yep.
He's mixing up the deliveries,
Yes.
and he put pace on that one, and that would have beaten Tim David for a better pace.
Indeed. So there are 2 balls left. There's 159 for 4. Look into your crystal ball. Tell me, do you think they'll get 165, 170? We shall see.
I'll
Here
go
we go.
165.
165. Here's Can. Comes up now on his way to bowl to David. David is getting the ball short, swings it. Where's that gone? In fact, it's actually gone away for 4. I missed it for a bit there, and that's actually gone down past the short backward square area. That's gone up to the boundary, and a welcome boundary for Australia.
Definitely. Again, pace off the ball, and Tim David was up to the task. A tall man, a well-built man as well too, and he was
Very
able,
dangerous as well.
He's timing the ball beautifully. It'd be like he got over his sleep and start batting.
Yeah, so 163 for 4, 1 to come. David is looking to get another boundary off the last ball. So here we go. The last ball by Oman. It is going to be Can to bowl to David. Comes in both to David, and David is driving down to long on. Will they come back for the second? The return comes in. They come back for the second one. He's going to be run out. Yes, he's going to be run out by a long way. But what an effort on the part of the Australians, because let me tell you that at the halfway stage they were 56 for 3, but they've got batting really very deep indeed, and the Australians, they're very tough indeed. At the end of over number 20, they reached 163 for the loss of 5.
Yes, Andrew, again, a very good recovery to score 107 runs in the final 10 overs is a really good effort. And that virtue was due to the partnership of Stoinis and Warner.
Right.
That was a really good partnership. I thought that Stoinis came in and took the pressure of Warner and allowed him to play freely. And then, obviously, the last couple of overs, they're looking to maximize. I want you to see a little bit of fireworks, but really good ball in front of Oman. I thought their feeling was outstanding today, Andrew.
Yeah, indeed. I certainly agree with that. Maybe the question we're going to be asking from there and from far, do you think that Australia will have a challenge in terms of Oman's response? You can send us a WhatsApp at 1-246-253-4679. I should be slower with that. 1-246-253-4679. And already people are responding. We shall read a couple pretty soon, but I shall endeavour to run through the details of what has happened on a pitch that Ryan Hines, the former West Indies all-rounder, says is a good one. Oman, they won the toss, they chose the field, and 163 for the loss of 5, the eventual score from the Australians, which really looked unlikely at one stage because at the halfway stage they were rather struggling. Warner was eventually caught by Can of Calamore for 56, 51 balls, 6 fours and a 6. Travis Head caught Khalid, bowled by Can for 12. Mitch Marsh, the captain, caught Troy Bowl by Mira for 14. Glenn Maxwell got 1 ball, brilliantly caught by Abbas off the ball of Can, and it was Stoinis who came to the party, 66 not out from 35 balls. In terms of boundaries, he actually had 6 sixes and 2 fours and got good support from David Warren, as I said, and did the reconstruction of the innings. In the end, David, a dangerous batsman, faced 5 balls, struck 2 fours, and he was eventually run out for 10. 164 for 5 from 20 overs with 6 extras, leg byes 2, no balls 3, and wise 1. Let's look at the bowling. Can, 4 overs, no balls 1 for 23. Kalamula, 3 overs, no balls 1 for 30. Ahmed, 4 overs, no balls none for 28. Mirad Khan, 4 overs, no balls 2 for 38. Alice Bowl, 4 overs, no balls none for 18. And Mascoop Bowl, 1 over, which cost 12 runs. A word on the Oman bowling. Here's Ryan Hines.
I thought the Oman bowling was pretty tidy. Again, when you look at the different phases of the game, after the first 10 over block, to have a powerhouse of Australia 56 for 3, I thought that was a fantastic effort. But with the experience of David Warner, also shepherding Stoinis, I thought that partnership was crucial, and they were able to build a solid partnership which enabled them to get a score of 164. Earlier we thought it would get 150, but I thought that they were smart in terms of one of those batters batting to the end,
right,
which is crucial.
Very crucial,
because they understand the pace of the game and what the bowlers are looking to do, the pace of the bowlers as well too, and hopefully we could. In the final phase of this game, final 20 overs, we would like to see Oman put up a fight in terms of their batting.
Well, we are very happy to be here at the Regents Mecca under the lights. No problems with the weather. It's been brilliant all day. We know what happened yesterday when Scotland actually played against England, and many of the English would have been very disappointed that that happened. The numbers are very good in terms of the people here in Barbados, and of course we're looking forward to that big battle on the weekend when the Australians play against England. It's 1 o'clock Eastern Caribbean time. It's on Saturday, and we really are looking forward to that. We expect a very interesting battle, particularly with England just picking up 1 point in that game that was rain affected. Can we look forward to that match?
Or is it premature? Forward to the match, so you can see how I'm looking at you. I want to hear about your predictions for that match, Andrew.
Well,
or are you going to sit on the fence?
Well, it's about time that I come off the fence.
Yes.
It's going to be a good one. The Australians are very tough. It's very difficult to go against them. I mean, I don't know. I mean, England's batting looks good. The pitch is going to be important as well. If Wood and, of course, Archer, can nip one or two early. You never know, it can put them in the back foot. But it's just about even Stevens. I mean, I really can't pick a winner. Can you, Ryan?
I agree with you in terms of even Stevens. Pace for pace, I believe Australia would get the edge in terms of the pace. I expect Pat Cummins to come into the side.
Yes.
And we have Pat Cummins, Mitchell Stark, and Josh Hazelwood.
That's a big combination.
A really good attack.
Big
With Sample,
snappers there.
who's a useful bowler. Stoinis, who's a bit of middle pace as well. It's going to be very interesting.
I
in
agree.
Terms of
Let's look at the
batting
England
balls.
side. What do you think of the England side? As Don Topley comes to call in, he's going to be up next. What do you like about the England side?
I think it's a well-balanced side. I'm happy to see Geoffrey Archer back into the side, and he know the conditions well in Barbados. In terms of their batters as well, it's going to be a really good contest. We're looking forward to that contest, and I hope it lives up to the billing.
If you had to pick a winner, Ryan Hines, who would you pick?
I would pick England.
And that's based on?
Based on the fact that...
Hold on. Let me get my pen. I need some paper as well, because I need to write what you say. Evidence, of course, is important. I'm the prosecutor. Talk to me, Ryan.
When I look at the form of the English players, Joss Butler, Johnny Bairstow, the talented Harry Brook that you're a fan of.
Oh, he's sweet.
When I look at that matchup in terms of their batting, I believe that England has a nod.
Do you think England has a better batting lineup than Australia?
I believe so. Due to the fact that Glenn Maxwell is not in any sort of form.
No.
Any sort of form.
No.
It'd be interesting to see if he's going to make the funding 11.
He may not make it. Do you think the England bowling is better than Australia's?
I don't believe so. I think
You
that,
think Australia's got the edge?
Yes.
And that's based on?
When you look at the pacers, when you look at those three pacers across all formats,
right,
they have been outstanding.
Okay.
They have been outstanding. Take nothing away from Geoffrey Archer and Wood, who I believe is pace for pace.
Pace for pace.
Jordan is very clever. He's going to bowl into the death.
And what about the spin of...
The spinner, Rashi, excellent leg spinner.
Right.
I mean, it's going. I believe it's going to be a really good battle. We are looking forward to it. I hope the crowd. I expect a bumper crowd.
We got to get a big... It's 1 o'clock Eastern Caribbean time. Let's hope that the weather...
Saturday afternoon as well.
Saturday afternoon in Barbados. So after Don Topley goes to Oystins the night before, of course, Oystins is the big place that you go to. Have you ever been to Oystins?
Of course, Andrew. I'm pretty sure that Mr. Topley would like to see the left-hand Simon Topley playing, making that fun of the 11 as well, too.
Yeah, well, the umpires are coming out. Do you think that Reece Topley will come into the side?
With his experience and his quality.
Yes.
And what I would have seen over the years, I would love to see him play, but Andrew, you have to leave up someone.
Maybe you should answer the question when Mr. Topley goes outside. He's up next, of course. He's very much a part of this high-powered commentary team. And the action will resume. The magic number for Oman, 165. The Australians are favourites to win this.
Yes.
They've got a tremendous team, but you never know. Cricket is a funny old game. Let's thank all the stations that have participated in this broadcast. We are so happy to know that radio is alive and well across the Caribbean. Of course, CBC, we want to thank them for the wonderful partnership. NCN Radio, our good friends there at NCN, Miss Christine Gooden and our wonderful team. NBC, thanks to Mr. Colvin Harry there, making sure that the broadcast is loud and clear. All the way in Stubbs, my favorite part of St. Vincent. Talk City 91.1 FM, Real FM in Grenada, GBN in Trinidad, 106.5 FM, thanks to Tova and a wonderful team. We go to Sugar City. I'm sure you've never heard of Sugar City. Don Topley joins me. We're talking about a place that's got a village called Bird Rock. We're talking, of course, St. Kitts and Nevis. Never forget Nevis, ZIZ. Of course, we got our friends at 2020 Vision. That's a new station taking the broadcast there in Nevis. We want to thank them for coming through and being very much a part of this broadcast. And we want to thank our friends at Point FM as well. So the news then is that the Oman team restricted Australia to 164 for 5, thanks to some good bowling. But overall, having been 56% at the halfway stage, the Australians are powerhouse were able to recover thanks to some good batting from Stoinis and of course from Warner to get up to 164 for the loss of 5. We'll invite the thoughts of Don Topley, and then to start the action it's going to be Philip Beaumont Hackett.
Thank you, Andrew. Well, a most enjoyable 20 overs, 164 for 5, and not forgetting that the Omanis were in a little bit of, well, they put Australia under pressure. 19 for 1, 50 for 2, 50 for 3, but then Stoinis came in to the game with 67 not out. Out of his 164 for 5, but off 36 balls. 2 4s and 6 6s for Marcus Stoinis, and that he came to the crease on a hat-trick because it was, Mitchell Marsh who was caught by Khan bowled by the other Khan for 14, and then Glenn Maxwell went first ball to the most magnificent catch by Ilyas Sululi, and it was a sight to behold. The 10 colleagues from Oman jumped on him and just celebrated a most marvellous catch. It's going to be one of the 3 best catches, I am sure, this World Cup. We're going to see a few more because fielding today is very special, Philip.
Well, I'd like to see the catch at the top there.
Oh,
And you're suggesting that there may be 2 more coming along.
These boys today, they're athletes. There are no donkeys in the field anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They are all athletes, and it's great to see. So, good luck, Oman. They're out there. Pravit
Athervale.
how do you pronounce that? Athervale.
Mm-hmm.
So good luck to him. He's facing, well, can you believe it? He won't be able to believe it because he's facing, I think it is Mitchell Starc. 61 matches in his career so far in the sort of Cricket World Cup. He's an absolute legend and somebody I love enjoying watch.
Here he is now with his first delivery, and it's stroked away down towards backward point, and will run out towards the boundary. So what a start. 4 runs. And what a start for the Oman side. They'll need to score what I believe will be their highest run chase if they expect to win this game.
Yeah.
They've never scored above 150 odd to win.
Well, wouldn't it be
they'll
wonderful?
need to break that record. I can tell you if they do, that would be a most amazing thing. Not only that they would have broken their own record, but they would have done so against the mighty Australians.
That
So,
was a
Praja
great delivery
Pati.
and a great shot, just pushed through the covers.
Here is a delivery which is down the leg side, well taken by the diving Wade. White, signaled by the umpire. You were saying?
Mitchell Starc has got a little bit of swing. He always gets a bit of swing. He is somebody who excites me every day of the week to watch. He's a beautiful bowler, gets a little bit of swing. He occasionally is a little low-armed, but nonetheless, he's got enough pace, and he's just pitched that ball up, and it was caressed through the offside. And then the following ball, it does swing, but it goes down the leg side. So the batsman will be very aware there's a little bit of inland move.
Rajapati waits for Stark and
Again.
is turning this one away out towards the mid-wicket position. They will get a run. So, Oman started with a fair degree of assurance here. And of course, Stark will be looking to, I'm sure that the Aussies will want to already pile the pressure on from the beginning. But off the first couple of deliveries, Oman, just like we saw in the innings when they fielded, so far so good. Just a couple of balls. The innings is still very new. But Prajapati and Athervale will want to calm the nerves of the Oman supporters as they set about what for them will be a fairly challenging run chase. As Stark makes his way into bowl to Athervale, and Athervale is getting one well up. He's wrapped on the pad. No, says the umpire. Loud shout, loud and long shout from Mitchell Stark for leg before. They're thinking about it. They're all encroach and they're having their discussions, short distance, long distance. What will they do? Let's see.
Gone
Looks
for
as
it.
though
Gone
they're
for
going
it.
for it. They're going for it.
That, to me, we're not quite behind the arm here today at the Kensington Oval.
TV umpire to
I
director.
do think there was
We
a
have
little
a player
bit of
review
shape
for
there.
LBW.
Let's
Original
listen in.
decision is
Yes.
not out. I've checked the feed and it's a fair delivery. Can we start with front on spin vision, please?
So it's a good delivery in terms of footwork. We're looking. And we're waiting. It's a fair delivery. We're waiting. Here comes the delivery. It's swinging. It comes back in late. It's hit the pad first
Appears
for me.
to be
I
pad
think
first.
it's going
Can
to
we
be
confirm
out.
with Ultra Edge, please? Yeah, just freeze it there.
Pad first.
Satisfied it's pad first. Ball tracking, please.
The swung.
Ooh.
Why?
Impact in line,
think
wickets
he's in
hitting. Original decision not
Why?
out. Joel, recommend you
no
to change your
way
decision.
he
I'll let
can
you know
give
when you're
that
on
not
screen.
out.
You're on screen.
He's been given out. He's gone. My word, there's the swing, the late swing. We've seen every delivery this over, including the wide going down the leg side. They've all come back to the right-hander, and it's swung in, and his head has fallen over, and he's been given out LBW as the ball cannoned off his pad, his front pad first, onto his bat, but it's pad first. LBW 6 for 1.
Yeah, I believe Joel Wilson, well, one would have to imagine that Joel Wilson, remember we were seeing that slow motion, Joel Wilson probably thought it was bat and then pad.
Yeah.
But clearly the ball was heading home. So that's the only thing I believe that the umpire may have had that forced him or that influenced him to give it not out.
And what's so good about the technology today, we've ended up
With the right decision.
Which is good, especially if you're an Australian, not so good if you're an Omani 20 years ago.
Well,
that
yes,
was
if
probably
you,
not out.
Yes, if you're an Omani, you would wish for all the times of long ago when the not out would have stayed as not out. But it works both ways, so they will recognize that as much as anyone else. But the new batsman Akib has come in and he waits for a start, who races in from the northern end up to the wicket to bowl to Akib. Akib drives and will get this one out towards the cover boundary. It's slowing up, but it will beat the fielder into the boundary for 4. So immediately Akib getting off the mark with the boundary, pretty much like Prajapati did, and the Oman score goes up to 10 for the loss of 1.
Well, what an entertaining over. We've had a boundary first ball, we've had a wide, we've gone for a single, we've had a wicket, and we've had another boundary. It's been a long over. It's going to be potentially a 7-ball over, but we've had some runs, some boundaries. It's been entertaining.
Well, it seems like this over has been going on forever. When you said we're in the first over, I looked at you in a strange way because it seemed to me as though we'd had 2 or 3 overs already. But it has been an action-packed over as Stark makes his way up to the wicket to bowl to Akib, and Akib gets a wide. So it's going to be an even longer over. You were optimistic when you said that it's going to be a 7-ball over.
I was.
You were wrong.
Horribly wrong. Mitchell Stark has let me down. He's bowled 2 wides, one outside the off and one down the leg side. Been hit for 2 boundaries, but also taken a wicket. And he's got another opportunity. That was the ball that he's pushed across the right-hander, where he swung all the other balls back to the right-hander. What is it going to be?
Well, he's got to slip in position as he makes his way up to the wicket to bowl to Akib, and Akib works
Not
this one
out.
away. There's an appeal for He's given!
Do you
He's
know
given
what?
him this time. He came right across his wicket and looked to work it into the onside. The appeal went up, and so did the finger of umpire Wilson. So Oman now losing their 2nd wicket. I suspect that we're going to have another review. Yes, we're going to have one. The batsman is calling for it, but the decision
TV
made,
umpire to
and let's
director.
see what the
We have a
3rd
player
umpire will
review
say
for
about it.
LBW. Original decision is
Batting
out.
outside his
I've
crease.
checked the feet and
I
it's a
think
fair
that's
delivery.
going down.
Can we start with
I
front
said
on
that
submission, please?
on the impact. I don't think this is going to be umpire's call. I actually think it's going down. We shall see.
Well, I'll need to see it at slow motion before I decide. My first glance, based on the replay, suggested that the batsman could be in trouble, but
Clearly no bat.
let's slow it down and
Ball
see what
tracking when
happens.
ready, please.
So the umpire having a look. 3rd umpire, that is.
Pitching outside leg stump. Original decision out.
Pitching
Joel,
outside leg.
recommend you to reverse your decision. I'll let you know
there
when
we
you're
go.
on screen.
Hey,
You're
Well,
on
it wasn't-
screen.
we
Next.
do
you
a
got it
good
right.
job.
You got it right, but you got the working wrong.
No, I said
In other
it was going down.
Well, it started down.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
the
there-
pitch outside leg.
So yeah.
And
it
well,
just looked wrong. Sometimes I know we're not quite right behind the arm here at the Kensington Oval, but sometimes as an old cricketer, you look at the game, you look at the dismissal, you look at the shape of the batsman, you look at the bowler. You just felt that my initial reaction that was not out.
spare a thought for umpire Wilson.
Does that actually mean he's got
Two
two
wrong
this-
decisions in the
this?
first over.
Who would want to be an umpire?
Oh, dear.
In with the glare of the
Is there somewhere you can hide out in the middle of the
Yeah.
field? As Stark makes his way into both to Akib. Akib drives, doesn't get hold of it properly, but gets hold of it enough to get a single out towards wide mid-off. And eventually, finally, we have completed an action-packed first over that lasted quite some time. And after one over, the latest score at Kensington is Oman 12 for the loss of 1.
unbelievable length of an over. Entertainment there. We've had 2 attempted dismissals. We've had 2 boundaries. We've had a wicket. We've had a couple of wides. Hey, licorice all sorts we would call that, wouldn't we? Hey? Unbelievable. Who's going to open the bowling from the other end? It's going to be the evergreen that I call the evergreen that is Josh Hazelwood. What a cricketer he is. And we haven't got Pat Cummins today because I'm being naughty. I'm suggesting there's an injury in the camp. I wonder if that will go global by the morning.
Well, I'm suggesting that workload management, a very busy time in the IPL. That's my
I
take
think you
on it.
might be right.
Yeah.
Philip, I won't argue with you, but I like to be
Well,
naughty.
I'm not arguing with you either. Here is Josh Hazelwood at the start of his spell, and the first delivery is well up and pushed up into the offside. Hazelwood fields his own bowling, and there's no runs. So Hazelwood, 61 wickets in 46 matches. Economy just under 8, 7.69, and the best of 4 for 12, Josh Hazelwood.
And the economy, 7.69.
Yes, that's
he
good.
bowls all phases, but in particular power playing at the death.
Yes.
Stark at one end, Hazelwood metronomic, just brilliant.
Here is Hazelwood. He moves away from us up to the wicket to bowl, and a drive which comes off the outer portion of the bat down towards third man. Just the 1 run. So the score advancing up to 13. Hazelwood bowling to Akib, who now moves to 6. Prajapati, he's got 5 off 2. Remember, he got off the mark with the boundary off his first delivery. So he is on strike now and waiting for Hazelwood, who's bowling without a slip. We saw a slip for Stark, but Hazelwood no slip. He's into Prajapati, who gets the ball outside line the off stump. Coming back a bit at him, but not enough to threaten the off stump, not enough to lure him into any indiscretion. He just came across with intense discipline and watched it into the gloves of the keeper. And Hazelwood is on his way back to his mark.
As a connoisseur of Barbados pitches, tell me, what do you
You're
think?
a connoisseur
No,
of
you.
top
I'm
league?
inviting you.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Because I'm just a little bit worried
Uh-huh.
just at the moment. I don't think we're seeing benign flat wickets here at Kensington Oval. It looks to me as if it's just a little bit harder to bat on than everyone thinks.
Here is Hazelwood into bowl, and this delivery sends the batsman on the back foot, and he nudges it out towards point. There's no run for him. So Prajapati, he's got 5. Akib has got 6. It's 13 for the loss of 1. Now, you said a bit more difficult to bat than everyone thinks. Are you referring to this particular game? That's what you're saying?
Yeah, and I also look back to the Namibia-Oman. I don't think England made best use of it. I don't think they attacked the stumps against Scotland yesterday here, so that was a concern. But I do worry that we're not seeing great batting wickets just at the moment. Is 165 par?
Here is a ball that is making the batsman almost fall over as he tried to work it into the offside, into the onside. It went up into the offside, out towards short to cover, and there was no run. I'll tell you what, I am not convinced that the pitch is as good a batting strip as some may believe, because it didn't misbehave to the extent maybe that we saw between Namibia and Oman. It's probably not as bowler friendly as it was then, but it's not a total batting pitch here. And I think the clue is in the manner in which Australia approached the innings. I'll get back to that as this delivery is steered down towards third man for a run, taking the score now up to 14 for the loss of 1 wicket. That's the end of the over. So we've now had 2 overs. And after 2 overs, the latest score at Kensington, 14 for 1.
We've seen Hazelwood there bowl, not necessarily a way swing, but both bowlers have got the right ends where if there's any breeze out there. But Hazelwood has bowled just away, outside off, good bowling, and that very last ball he just angled back into the right-hander. Superb bit of bowling, but that's the end of the over. So you're partly in agreement with me.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a bad pitch, but I think
No,
it's
I didn't
slow
say
and
that.
maybe not necessarily the best for stroke play. Hence, the approach of the Aussies, the superior batting skills really mask any challenges in the pitch. It's going to be interesting to see how Oman fare on the same surface. Here is Stark as he starts his second over, brings the batsman forward, and the ball played back to him. You'll probably find that survival is not that difficult, but being able to score quickly may be a challenge until you get in. So, 151 more required from 108 deliveries. Stoinis, 67 not out, top scoring for the Aussies. We'll go through the details of the Aussie scoreboard for those who may be joining us for the first time. As Stark turns at the top of his mark, he's in his second over, the third of the innings, as he moves past umpire Joel Wilson into a bowl to Prajapati, and Prajapati gets this one somewhere about the body, and it goes into the onside. They go through for a leg by signal now by the umpire, and a single that takes the score up to 15 for the loss of 1. Warner was caught by Shoaib Khan off the bowling of Kalimbula for 56. His 56 coming off 51 balls, 1 6 and 6 fours. A Travid Head was caught by Kale off the bowling of Bazid Khan for 12, made off 10 deliveries. Mitchell Marsh, the captain, he was caught by Shoaib Khan off the bowling of Mehan Khan for 14. I'll get back to that as a Stark is into bowl, and this delivery down the leg side is a wide signal by the umpire. Akib just coming inside the line and allowing it to go through to the keeper. So a wasted delivery by Stark, but he had his problems in the first over as well, where he sent down 2 wides. Just to continue the scorecard, Mitchell Marsh, as I said, made 14 off 21 deliveries. Glenn Maxwell, that was one of the highlights, if not the highlight of the innings in some respects. Caught by Akib off the bowling of Merin Khan without scoring first ball, but it was the catch by Akib that was so amazing. Here is the bowler Stark, who is bowling this one well up, and the batsman just trying to keep it out, succeeds in doing so. So Akib 6, Prajapati 6, and the Oman side just trying to build some sort of a foundation here.
Well, that was another cracking delivery with in swing into the batsman. Just absolute brilliant skill to witness that. And he's just got to be careful. One, he doesn't plant his foot and play round his front pad, because then he'll be an LBW candidate.
Waits for Stark and gets a ball that is wideish, but he gets enough bat on it, sped out towards point, but straight to the man who is at that point position, and was fielded without any real alarms. So the scoring opportunity nullified.
Philip, for me, that was Mitchell Stark trying to bowl his other delivery. It just went on the wide line, but the batsman got a bat on it, but it wasn't the in-swinger, it was the one that's due to go away or straight on.
Good work by Warner out at point as Stark moves into bowl to Akib, and Akib is playing it straight down the ground, down towards the long off position. That goes into the boundary. That was well played, and so elegantly too. Just coming across and without any fuss, stroking the ball up towards the long off boundary for 4.
Great shot, as you say, Philip. It was very well pitched up. It was almost a half volley, and it was just a little bunt down the ground, full face of the bat, didn't turn his hands, no big follow through, just a little forward movement to the half volley, full face of the bat, and it went very straight at mid-off for a gorgeous 4.
Mid-off is very wide, so the boundary was on offer as this delivery is turned away out towards mid-wicket. Problems here. The return. In fact, there's an appeal for a run out. It will go upstairs. But what happened was the ball was turned up into the onside. The batsman set off for a run, but didn't send the memo to the non-striker. So he
TV
found
umpire
himself
to
halfway
direct
down. The ball
We
in
have
the
an
hand of
umpire review
mid-wicket,
for
but the
run out
keeper
at the wicketkeeper's
didn't
end.
have time to
Can
come
you
up.
give me the best
And
side
that
angle,
may
please?
very well have saved him as the ball was then backed up and the stumps broken. But by then, let's see if he was able to get back. Yes, I think he's back. He's back. Maxwell breaking the stumps eventually. But had the keeper, let's say, for some reason been up to the stumps, which he would have been crazy to be up to the stumps to start. But he didn't get time to get up to the stumps, so it would have required a direct hit
Just
from all
roll
the
it
way
back
out
a frame
at
and bring
mid-wicket.
it forward
I
for
think
me,
it
please.
was Tim David who was throwing, but he
Yeah,
he
bat is
had
grounded.
so much time.
Thank you.
He probably
that
had
I'm
more
ready
time
with
to
my
realize.
decision for
that
the
he
big
took
screen.
aim, he took aim again, he took aim even more, and unfortunately it was like a dart. It was a slightly elevated throw which went over the top, and he ended up missing the stumps, and it was the backing up of Glenn Maxwell who did the underarm flick to the crease, but Wade and the batsman collided, but he'd already had his bat inside the crease.
The thing about it is, that given the fact that the ball had to be backed up by Maxwell, one wonders what might have happened had David waited for Maxwell to get a bit closer to the stumps, because he was coming in, and easy to say all that now. Yes, he had a lot of time. It was going to be close however you look at it. The direct hit was the only sure way to get that dismissal.
And he had so much time, did David, but he missed. And I have to say, it was in the end, he got back easily, did the batsman.
He did.
So nothing ventured, nothing gained, but it's Hazelwood to start the new over.
20 for 1 as this delivery is played officially out towards short backward square. They go for 1. Let's watch as the batsmen complete a single. That will take the score up to 21 for the loss of 1 at the start of over number 4.
That was a bit of pace there from Hazelwood. He's bowled a short ball. The batsman's gone on the hook for it, but he spliced it out to backward square leg for just the 1 run.
So, Josh Hazelwood at the top of his mark. A slip in position now as he moves into bowl to the batsman in Prajapati, who plays an awkward looking stroke, I would suggest. It was outside the line of the off stump. He seemed to want to hit it somewhere out by the
Deep square leg.
Deep square leg, somewhere over by the party stand.
Yeah, there's nobody down there.
Well, maybe that's why.
And that's the gap, but it was very ambitious. I mean, there's every chance he could get sconned that, the men in red, Prajapati. I mean, he's gone down very early to play and get it.
Predetermined stroke.
Scoop.
Here is Hazelwood once again. And
Shot.
this time he gets bat on it. Not the best connection, but he'll get a run down towards the backward square boundary. They go for 1. And the score progressing. The Oman side still not looking too really phased and prepared to pick up the 1s and the 2s. They have tried 1 or 2 ambitious strokes, but I still would suggest to you, toppers, that they are playing, I would still say, as though they belong. They're up against a good side. They've got some good bowling, but they seem intent on making a go of it here. Time will tell how far they get as Hazelwood is into bowl to Prajapati, and this time he's playing missing outside the line of the off stump. The ball going through, not very high, taken low down by the keeper.
Well, if you look at their lineup today with no Cummins, you've got Hazelwood and you've got Mitchell Stark, but the other bowlers today, Nathan Ellis has an opportunity, plays a lot for Hampshire in the English county season. He bowls a lot of slower balls and mixtures, runs in hard. He can bowl a quickish ball, but he can be he's awkward to pick up. And then you've got Adam Zampa, the spinner.
And now we've got Hazelwood. He's into bowl, and this delivery is steered down towards backward point. There's no run.
And then to fill in with two other types of bowlers, you've got Marcus Stoinis, you've got Mitchell Marsh, and you've even got a few overs of Glenn Maxwell. Mm-hmm. So they've got most bases covered, but you would imagine the Omanis will favour those other bowlers as opposed to Stark
And Hazelwood. Well, yes, this is a period that they would want to get through, and an important period too for Australia to defend, because they wouldn't want Oman to get off to a rollicking start in the power play. So they've got the best bowlers in operation right now, as this delivery is beating the outside edge again as the batsman comes forward. We have now seen the completion of 4 overs, and after 4 overs, the Oman side 22 for the loss of 1.
That last ball, it bounced in front of the keeper again. Tells you there's a bit of lack of pace and it's not always going through. Look, we're seeing quite a lot of criticism for the wicket at New York. And of course, India and Pakistan are playing on Sunday. But Saturday here at Kensington Oval, we've got England versus Australia, a huge game for England. I really hope that we have a good deck on Saturday. It's really important.
When you say we, you mean England, Australia, or
the lovers,
or the lovers of the game? Okay.
Lovers of the game. We
just for those who are listening and trying to work out where you're coming from,
yeah.
I was just helping you along there.
Lovers of the game. Lovers of the game. We want a good deck that we see attacking cricket. Nathan Ellis into the attack.
Well, you called and he answered, as this delivery, the first of his spell, is steered down to our short third man for a run. So 23 for the loss of 1. We are into over number 5. And you talked about him. You gave us a preview. Maybe you got a memo or something that he was going to come into the attack. You know how this works, don't you?
Sort of. Out the corner of my eye, I saw him twirl his arms. But I know a lot about him. I've watched him. I've commentated on him. He's got a rather indifferent approach to the wicket.
Yeah.
But he actually can bowl a quickish ball. But he's awkward. He's all arms and legs at the last minute.
Let's watch him now as he comes in, passes umpire Wilson. And this one just bounces a bit awkwardly for Prajapati as he comes forward. No harm done. It took him some just above the waist and went into the outside, and there's no run. You said he's awkward. What was the word you used?
Awkward to pick up.
I'm not talking about his approach. You said something about his approach.
He does. He doesn't just run in. He's a good athlete, but he has not a hop. He has a skip in there somewhere.
Yep.
And he
a hop, skip, and a jump, maybe?
Almost. But you'll see him come in now.
Let's watch. That's a hop. Now he's skipping, yes, and he jumps. He's into bowl, and this delivery is bringing an attempted hook, not one that has any degree of success. He missed. It went through to the keeper.
He probably runs in a little bit quicker than most. He really accelerates in his second half of his run. He almost sprints in, and he also has the skill where he can bowl out the back of the hand, the cutter, and as I said, he's all
You're very
arms.
impressed with this Nathan Ellis, aren't you?
I've watched him a lot. Yeah, and he doesn't get many games because of the big 3 in the Australian bowling unit.
Here is Ellis as he moves in right arm over the wicket into bowl to Akib, and Akib pushes up into the onside. Thought of getting a run, but that was not going to happen because Ellis was quick in his follow through to prevent any chance of a run, and the score remains at 23 for the loss of 1. Not only does he have the hop, skip, and a jump, but he looks at certain stages as though he's virtually going to topple over.
Yeah, he does.
And this is not to be critical. It's just along the same theme that he has an interesting approach.
Mitchell Starc glides in where Hazelwood, I think, he's a controlled runner. Where this fella, Nathan Ellis, almost sprints in. He's quite... Look at
Let's
the
watch
pace.
him now as he's into bowl, and this one is taking the batsman on the pad. He's given leg before, so he is struck. Nathan Ellis, he is living up to all that you said about him, Toppers. Hitting the batsman on the pad, the appeal went up, and so does the review. Also going upstairs, the batsman having a consultation with his
TV
partner,
umpire to
and then
director.
opting to
We
go
have
upstairs.
a player review
I think
for
it's going to
LBW.
be an
Original
unsuccessful
decision is
review.
out.
As I said
I've
to you
checked the
earlier,
feed and it's a
we
fair
get an
delivery.
idea of
Can we
all the
start with
dismissals,
consultation,
and
please?
I gave that out. It just looked right from the moment it struck his pads, and I'm afraid I think the Omanis are going to lose a man here. We're waiting. The decision has been asked for. It's hitting his back leg or
Appears to be
midland leg.
missing
I
the bat.
reckon.
Can we confirm that with Ultra Edge, please?
Midland leg on the back leg, I'm afraid, for me.
So if it's upheld, it would
Flat
be
line as
23
the
for
ball
2.
passes the bat. Satisfied, no bat involved. Ball tracking, please.
So no bat involved.
Scrambled seam.
Umpire's call, I would think. That's just my guess.
Pitching in line, impact in line, wickets, umpire's call, original decision out. Joel, stay with your decision of
Yes,
out. I'll
umpire's
let you know
call,
when
I
you're
think
on
is the
screen.
decision.
You're on
So,
screen.
not quite what we would call plumb LBW, but enough of an LBW to enough hitting to send him on his way, given the fact that the umpire had given it. No, I haven't. This has caused discussion all around the world, but I haven't had that discussion with you. What's your view on the umpire's call?
We get so many more decisions right than we do get wrong. So I'm in favour of it.
We?
And I'm a part of the Bowlers Union.
Okay, I thought you
But-
meant me as an umpire.
Look, I think majority of the time we're getting the right decision. Occasionally we don't with the umpires, when they have
So in
a
other
review.
words, affirm the umpire's ruling unless there's something to turn it over. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, look, I come from the previous era when we used to have some shockers. We don't have shockers anymore.
Very seldom.
Very seldom, yeah. So, I gave that out as from the naked eye, and we're now bringing, is it Sishan to the wicket, the former captain?
Zishan has come in to join Akib. Akib has got 12 off 12. And Prajapati out for 7, leg before wicket to Ellis. 23 for 2 in the 5th over.
What was important for me to acknowledge here before we see the next ball is how many LB shouts have the Aussies had? How many do you reckon?
Well, we'll get back to that as Ellis is into the new batsman, Zishan, who comes forward. His first delivery plays it up into the covers. That's the end of over number 5. And after 5 overs, the latest score at Kensington, Oman, 23 for 2.
Australia are bowling at the stumps. They're having LBW shouts applauded and turned down. England the other day, what did we do? We didn't bowl particularly straight and we went for brutal pace. And that, for me, is a bit of a worry because what we're seeing is 2 different types of attack here. One from Australia and then one from England last night. Australia have bowled wicket to wicket. England didn't. They bowled a little bit wide in their first 6 overs, and we bowled some short balls too. And if you looked at a spot of from say the TV cameras where England bowled and where Australia have bowled at the timbers, and that is the name of the game.
23 for 2. Here's Barry Wilkinson.
Now balls, and this delivery is down the left side, turned into the mid-wicket area. There's no run.
Stoinis into the attack.
Yes, he is. Batted really well tonight.
Did he?
Yes, he did.
He
comes
Do you
good.
remember that conversation we
Yeah, I
had?
do. He comes good 2 out of every 10 times, and this is the second. So this is the one
He
he's
did.
due. We'll see how many runs he ends the World Cup with.
Yeah, okay.
And wickets.
Yeah.
So here comes Stoinis, the 34-year-old veteran, as he turns now and runs in, steams in, passes the umpire and bowls. And this delivery is again edged down to the short third man. There's no run. Thoughts of a single, but that would have been suicidal.
I did, in my first half of the commentary with you when he was batting, I did detect you didn't like him.
No, it's not a matter of not liking him. I'm just thinking that
He is a nice man.
I don't know him.
I can tell you.
I'm looking at his career, his record.
Yeah.
His record is what we judge players by.
His innings today was quite brutal, certainly early
Smashing,
doors.
very dashing. Here he comes in again now as he passes the umpire and bowls. A delivery that's on land the off stump again and a played out to cover, and there's still no run. There is young Travis Head, the man from Sunrisers Hyderabad, who got the delivery of the tournament to the IPL. I think he got it from his teammate, wasn't it? It was Mitchell Stark, I think, bowled him in one of those games coming to the end. If not the first match, it would have been first match, meaning in the playoffs.
The eliminator.
No, not the eliminator. It would have been the first place playoff, which takes you to the final, because Sunrisers and KKR played and they were 1-2, and as this delivery swung brilliantly backward of square into the party stand for 6.
Well, that was outside off stump, but actually, to be fair to the batsman, Akib, who took that catch earlier in the day, he's marched outside off stump and just helped it on its way. That was an outrageous shot, a beautiful shot, great execution. But, so for some of the traditionalists, they would say Stoinis didn't deserve that because it wasn't a bad ball.
Yeah, it was full pitched. I think luckily he got hold of it pretty well, but it was a full pitch delivery. And I think that based on his connection, that was why he was able to hit it so well. But it wasn't a bad delivery. Here he comes in again and bowls again, a Yorker length delivery, slow one, back of the arm almost, played out to cover, and there's no run.
Yep, Marcus Stoinis was brutal to Oman earlier, and Akib, well, he took that magnificent catch earlier in the day to get rid of Glenn Maxwell. And, Akib has been in the action. He bowled quite tidily, he bowled all right, his mixture of leg spin and off spin, but now he's batting, and he's just clobbered Stoinis.
Edged and caught. Pitched up. There was the batsman on the front foot. The captain, Akib, on the front foot, edging. Stoinis gets another wicket. A very good catch as well. Very, very good take there down the leg side, down the just to the right of the first slip, and that means that the Oman team are in trouble on 29 for 3 after over number 6 in search of Australia's 165.
Well, we've just seen 6 and out. He hit a great shot, and the next ball he's nicked it. He's nicked it through to the keeper. The keeper's taken a good shot, but if I really analyse the footwork then, it was a bit lazy in his movement. He was looking to play perhaps through mid-on, and he ended up with a little bit of a bottom hand, and he nicked it through. A little bit of lazy footwork, but he's gone, and Oman is certainly in a little bit of trouble now at 29 for 3.
Yeah, so 29 for 3, and Oman really now not making advantage of the power play, and they're taking that sort of sour batting post power play. Australia on top. It'd be difficult, very, very difficult to stop the Australians now. A very good friend of mine, John Ford, said that Stoinis' record is better than all of the West Indies batsmen, and he's been more impactful. I can't agree. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put up the West Indies batting, and we'll go man for man.
Well, Puran is my man in your team.
Yeah.
I think he's a wonderful player.
Brandon King,
Yeah.
Nicholas Puran.
Oh.
You look at Andre Russell, because Russell and Stoinis are like for like.
Interesting. I'd like to see
Of course they're like for like.
Russell's figures,
Yeah.
stats in due course.
Here he comes in now and bowls to the new batsman. This is Zashin Masood. And this delivery is in the line of the off stump, pushed into the offside, and there's no run.
Maxwell into the attack from the bottom end, or the 3W stand end.
Outside the line of the off stump again, cracked away out to the cover area. They get 1. They were thinking of 2, but they'll just settle for the single. So we've got Stoinis, who's just about 35. He's 34, but he's going to be 35 pretty soon. You could look at him and compare him to someone like Andre Russell. He's 36. Andre Russell, same kind of batting, bowling. He's an all-rounder. Let's just leave it at that. Russell just turned. Russell has played for the West Indies. Russell has played 76 T20s. Russell has an average of 22.04, but Russell has 51 wickets. Yes, the average is not high at all. Good strike rate, 163. 3 half centuries. So just about even. What do you think?
I think the word, somebody who wrote into you talked about the word impact. And that's what they do.
This one is dabbed and dabbed nicely.
Very good shot.
Down to the third man boundary for 4. It was short outside the line of the off stump. He didn't go for brute force. He just kind of guided it just to the right of the fielder there, the short third man, and into the boundary for 4. Good looking shot.
It was
34 for 3.
almost a forceful, old-fashioned late cut. It really was, to give him credit there.
Here he comes again and bowls, and this time it's on the line of the leg stump, turned into the onside, and there is no run.
We don't often hear that these days, do we? A late cut. Not because we're always looking to hit the ball, aren't we, and put pace on the ball.
Just looking to dab that one outside the line of the off stump again. No run there on this occasion. Plays square into the offside. There's no run. The over ends 34 for 3 after 7, the latest score.
Yeah, the impact of these players, the utility players or lower down the order, it's interesting. England have one, and you'll see him on Saturday in Liam Livingstone. There are some people that would like to see him offer a lot more. He bowls a little bit of off spin to the left-handers, leg spin to the right-handers, and then he bats, but he doesn't. Some people say it's a very hard position to play at, number 7, because you can only come in and give it a whack. The bowlers are damn good, so you're not always going to be successful, and quite often you're going to fail. But Marcus Stoinis didn't tonight.
No, he batted really well. Batted really well tonight, and I think that his innings is what really gave the fillip for the Australians to get 164. This is a new over now. It's going to be Stoinis again. He's in his second over. He's bowled 1 for 6. That delivery just on the line of the off stump, played and missed. Well taken there by the keeper, no run.
There was apparently a lovely dinner last night in one of your famous Bayesian restaurants.
Really?
Where Carl Mayers, Reece Topley, Cameron Green and Marcus Stoinis were enjoying themselves.
Really? Who paid the bill? As this delivery is driven straight to cover. Still no run there from Zishan Matsood.
That's a very good question. I hope
What
it
was the
wasn't
bill?
Topley. I think it was quite expensive.
If Topley paid the bill, your credit card should be checked, because he might have used your credit card to.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that. No, I gather everyone was very well behaved. But that's franchise cricket for you. They either played together at RCB or they played together at Durban Supergiants.
Franchise cricket has got cricket too friendly. As,
Yes,
again, this
yeah.
delivery hits
Ooh.
it just on the line of the middle stump.
That wasn't too friendly.
No, that wasn't friendly at all. He actually hit him in the midsection. And luckily for him, it didn't fly to the backward point area. It just went along the ground and there's still no run.
Yeah, that bit. I'd be interested to see that was just maybe on a length, maybe just 6 inches back of a good length, but it's bounced and it's either hit him on the thumb or it's hit him in somewhere close to the stomach.
Here he comes again and bowls, and this time it's a big drive and an edge. He's out caught. Another wicket goes down. This is really a surrender now from the Oman team. Just on the line of the off stump, he fanned the bat at it. In fact, he took a big swing, a big whack, and Wade taking another catch. This is now a disaster for Oman. They're 34 for 4 as the blue-eyed captain Pat Cummins looks on. And in the dugout, he's not playing tonight. I say captain loosely. Of course, he's not the captain of the T20 team. But the over, still with 2 balls left, still have Oman in a lot of trouble, and 34 for 4, needing 165 to win.
The impact player, Marcus Stoinis, is having an impact here. He's getting himself a couple of wickets. He's bowling what I call a mixed seam, and he's getting a few now. He's got a couple. Last 2 wickets have been caught behind, so he's doing wonders for his confidence. He's had an interesting or an indifferent year as well, a bit like Maxwell, but he's coming out on trumps today, and he's making a bid for man of the match as the Omanis are 34 for 4, and this next 12 overs I think could be extremely hard work for the associate nation here. They could peter out quickly because there's some decent bowlers still to come on. Adam Zampa, he'll get a bit of turn. Will the wrist spinner here at the Kensington Oval? So difficult times for the Omanis, who enjoyed a decent game against Namibia, an exciting game against Namibia in the first game here at the Kensington Oval. Stoinis on his way in.
Balls to Ayan, and Ayan, another left-hander, gets the ball to the line of the off-stump. Wants a single, non-existent single. He would have been run out by 10 metres or so. There's still a chance to run out at the strike
Billy
again.
Smart Circus.
Oh, man, that was what you call cricket anarchy. It was just everything there all over the place. And luckily for both of them, two chances for a run out. The fielders missed on both occasions, and they luckily survived.
Yes, gosh. We used to call that Billy Smart Circus. Yes, no, sorry. Yes again, no, sorry. Have another shy. Twice the Australians had a chance of hitting the coconut, but they failed. They failed. They'll be having fielding practice tomorrow.
So here comes Stoinis in again. This time Stoinis is bowling to the right-handed Kyle, and Kyle gets the delivery on the line of the off-stump. Defends it, plays it there to the short cover. The over comes to an end. At the end of the over, the latest score, Oman 35 for 4 after 8 overs, chasing 165.
Stoinis 2 for 7 off his 2. Great figures. He's bowled nicely to go with his batting earlier in the day. I think it's going to be Zampa, who has played cricket all around the world, in the 100 in England for Essex. He is a talented spin bowler. He's a vegan, and he is going to enter the attack from the bottom end, the 3W stand, and we're going to look at his field placing. So I think we've got a right-hander and indeed a left-hander. It's going to be Akib who's going to take his guard. I think he's asked for middle and leg. Zampa looking around the wicket. He's got the 3 on the leg side on the boundary, and mid-off on the boundary. I can't see cover at the moment, so he's basically saying, I'll give you 1, Akib, the left-hander, anything into the leg side. He's got a slip in, so that's the extra man probably from the offside. I don't think there's anyone on the offside boundary. Zampa is in.
Here comes Zampa now, the leg spinner, and bowls his first delivery to Ayum. Ayum gets the one on the line of the off stump, drives it to cover, can't score. Adam Zampa wearing these look like some kind of shades with clear screen shades, I think is what you call them.
What's the point of them?
That's a good question. Here he comes in now and bowls at this delivery. Again, it beats the bat, so it all ends up taken by the keeper. Just aesthetics. Just try to look good.
Is he? He's probably paid a lot of money to wear them. Hey? Is that the way of the world today?
Here he comes in again on the line of the middle stump. On the front foot, played into the onside, and there's no run.
That's 2 googlies. I think he's bowled on the trot. I'm guessing that. It's a calculated guess by his wrist position, as we are at very, very fine leg.
Zampa bowls, and this delivery is short outside the line of the all stump. Cut away down to the boundary. There's a fielder there, and that means the batsman will get 2 runs.
Good shot. Little bit quicker, little bit wider, and it was a good execution of a cut shot.
Yeah, it was a good cut shot, but the thing about it is you've got a sweeper. You've got a man at backward point. Might be just a good thing to just dab that down to third man. Faster delivery there from Zampa this time, and this time the batsman Ayan is quick onto it. Plays it defensively into the onside. Still no run. 36 for 4. 1 ball left in over number 9. 37 for 4 rather. We've got Ayan and Kale at the crease. And Adam Zampa, the well-known leggy from Australia. Short ball again. And this one is punched away out into the covers for a single. So the over comes to an end. The latest score, 9 overs gone now. The Australians have the Oman team 38 for 4.
Not a bad over. Bit of mixture there of googlies and varying his pace. Looking to bowl certainly googlies at the left-hander. Just felt his googlies were just short just a little bit short. And to be fair to the batsman, the left-handed Akib was hanging back in his crease, trying to pick up that length. And listen, it wasn't a bad over at all. A few of the reserve players are running on with a towel or a drink, and we're looking. The DJ is playing his music in between the overs, creating an atmosphere. Now, I thought that, Barry, there was a good atmosphere last night, despite not having a full house for England-Scotland. There was a good atmosphere.
Yes.
You not so?
It was a fantastic atmosphere, spoilt by rain.
It was, wasn't it?
I mean, it's just such a... And you know, the rain did not fall a drizzle today. Can you believe that?
Beautiful day today.
Lovely day today. Lovely day, lovely night. We wished it was the opposite.
Nathan Ellis into the attack.
Nathan Ellis now comes in and bowls to Ayan, and Ayan gets a delivery that's wide of the off stump, taken there by the keeper, dies on the way to the keeper, there's no run. Andrew Mason made the comment, how did this bowler get into the Australian team? He looks very nay-nayish. He looks almost like a village cricketer.
Oh, his record is pretty good wherever he's played. He runs in, he really sprints in. He's a little bit all arms and legs at the last minute, and he's hard to pick up, and he bowls a lot of all sorts. Back of the hand, cutters, and he does have a decent bouncer.
He sounds like Malcolm Marshall, this delivery. Just on the line, the off stump, edged away out to the third man boundary for 4. Yeah. So 4 runs there to Ayun. It was wide of the off stump. First or second sit with a gobble that up, but there's none, and it went down to the third man boundary for 4.
Yeah, little bit of fortuity there as he's got a thickish outside edge. It would have gone through second slip. Matthew Wade, the keeper, the diminutive keeper, didn't really go for it, couldn't go for it, he wasn't going to get there, and it's 4 runs afforded to Ayan, who has prospered there. Nothing wrong with the ball, angled in from around the wicket, little bit of pace, and we're seeing Nathan Ellis, and he'll give us his tricks in a minute. You keep an eye out for his tricks.
Yeah, well, here he comes again. What's happening here? The ball seems to be lost.
I think it's gone beyond the advertising hoardings. They've just found it.
They've just found the ball.
Yep.
I think it was stuck in the middle of the advertising signboards. Adam Zampa found it. It went under the signboard. So they've got the ball back. They'll be ready to go again. As Ellis got 1 for 5. Here he turns and runs in, hop, skip, jumps, and bowls. And delivery again on the line of the off stump, played backward of point, almost down to a very wide third man. That's 1 run. Easy single there, 43 for 4.
Simply opening the face, very sensible, smart, good ball. Just opens the face and runs it down to third man. I mean, that's probably the easiest, simplest scoring shot in the book in white ball cricket.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, it's the safest one. It's a good go-to. So 43 for 4. 164 for 5 early made by the Australians. The crowd has just gone a little quiet, perhaps disappointed, as Ellis bowls a short delivery that's cut away, and cut away well. But there's a fielder there on the backward point boundary. They get 1. They were thinking of the second. Kyle said no. Khan agreed, and they settled for the single. 44 for 4 then in over number 10.
Left-handers now facing. That is holding up play, looking around at the fielders, taking his guard stance. He's ready. It's going to be Ayan, the left-hander.
As he runs it again now and bowls, this delivery is wide of the off stump. A slower one.
Slower bouncer.
Very, very slow one. And I think the batsman read it well, but he left it alone. It's not a test match.
Did we used to call those long hops?
That wasn't a long hop by any stretch of the imagination.
Slower bouncer.
It was that a bouncer? Because it was not a bouncer bounces.
Yeah.
That didn't bounce. That just kept very low on the line of the off stump. He could have cut it. Look, you look back at the replay.
It's bounced.
I don't
to
think
the
he
keeper.
didn't make an effort at all to even whack it.
No, he thought. I think he got done there.
Yeah.
I think he thought it was going to be a wide, and it wasn't.
And I want to agree with Andrew Mason. I think Ellis is
Average.
Yeah, here he comes again and bowls, and this delivery is driven beautifully through extra cover for 4. It was pitched up
In
on
the
the line
slot.
of the off stump and just there in the slot and driven nicely into the boundary for 4. The over comes to the end, 10 overs gone. The latest score here at Kensington Oval, 48 for 4. Oman needing to get 165. We're going to have a double change in the commentary. It's going to be Ryan Hines and Philip Hackett. We also going to have our drinks as Ryan Hines comes a calling. Ryan, I'm sure that you'll be very happy with what you've seen so far in terms of how Australia have gone about the business, in terms of their fielding, in terms of their bowling. Your comments, and then we'll hear from Philip Hackett.
Yeah, professionalism is the word I would call it. In terms of the way how they went about the bowling, you could clearly see they're looking to utilize the faster bowlers, getting some mulls in the legs, collecting some data from the surface as well too. And Stoinis, he's been having a fantastic outing today. Picked up 2 crucial wickets, and a very good block of 10 overs as we welcome Philip Hackett into the chair. And Philip, what we can say here is professional performance thus far by the Australian team.
Very much so. The Oman side matched them man for man for most of the Australian innings. Of course, then the Aussies dominating the last 5 overs or so and got up to 165, which is not a massive score in and of itself, but against an Oman side with not a great reputation for chasing runs. I think their highest run chase was in the 150s. So it was always going to be a tall order for them. Even so, despite the loss of 120 wickets, they still seem to be competing, still seem to be playing in a positive mind. But as of now, I think it's fair to say total Australian dominance, 48 for the loss of 4. I still don't think that the Oman side should droop their heads or anything like that, because let's face it, the Australians are a powerful side even for the other established sides to play against. So when you look at Oman, a team that is a lot less experienced, and really and truly, I think they, to some extent, have come out better than so far. I mean, if they're all out for 55, that wouldn't look too good. But I think they've done as much as could be expected, to be quite honest.
Yeah, when you look at the grand scheme of things, I thought in the first half, first block of 20 overs, I thought that they feel and bowl well up to a point. They certainly competed first 10 overs. The Australian batting innings, I thought they bowled really, really well. And then, they were undone by the quality of David Warner and also Stoinis, who seemed to be having a fantastic night. 67 not out from 36 deliveries, 2 overs, 2 for 7. He's having an awesome night, Philip.
Yes, and it started when he came into bat on a hat-trick delivery, wasn't it? And was able to not only save the hat-trick, but then went on to partner very effectively with Dave Warner to see his side to a good score. But we are ready to resume, and here's a ball that is swept away down towards the backward square position. The batsmen go for 1, and the second half of the innings is underway. In fact, if you look at it, if it were a basketball game, you would say you're now into the 4th quarter.
Yes. We'd like to see Oman get up to probably 120, maybe a tall order, but said they would have competed relatively well against a powerhouse, as you rightfully said.
49 for 4 as we continue. The first delivery, a second delivery after the break from Zampa, played down towards the wide long on area for a single. Yes, but not only looking at it from the statistical standpoint, that's important, obviously, but from this distance, I really can't say that they flinched or they backed away. I think they faced the task quite bravely, but we're simply outmatched by better side.
They gave a fairly good account of themselves based on what we've seen thus far.
Zampa continues, and this delivery is paddled around down towards fine leg. Runs here. In fact, just the 1 run. There's a man down there. So single as Akil moves to 7. It's Ayan on 14 off 13 deliveries, 50 for the loss of 4, so the 50 coming up. Akil has got 6, Ayan has got 14, and it is Zampa now to move in to bowl, and this delivery pushed into the covers, very square indeed, and yet another single. So the runs coming slowly for Oman, but as a contest, really and truly, I think you'll have to admit that it's pretty much over.
Yeah, I agree. What was important now is for these two, Ayan and Akil, to build a solid partnership and see what they can do in the final 5 overs. Hopefully, like I said, they could get it to 120 plus.
Another single, this time down to short third man, a tight one this time, but they're able to get home. Good work done at that third man position. Looks like, was that Warren out there? Around from third man?
It looks like Travis Head.
Yes, Travis Head, in fact. It's Travis Head. Warner's opening partner, and he did well, but couldn't stop the run. So, Zampa continues from that northern end, a ball that is swept away this time, almost tugged, and again, Head comes off the boundary. This time sends a return into the keeper, and yet another single. So the runs are being made in singles at this point in time. That ends over number 11. And after over number 11, Oman with a target of 165, the latest score being now 53 for the loss of 4.
Yes, and we are seeing a change from the southern name. It looks like Mitchell Stark, quality bowler. He will have a successful IPL, one of the leading wicket takers, and also been a part of a championship side, Calcutta. He's a quality bowler in terms of he's one of those type of bowlers, Philip, that picks up wickets with a new ball, a captain's dream, really.
Yes, and yes, a captain's dream. He is certainly from the top drawer, has been around for quite some time. Immense experience, has still been effective, has gone through various phases, but a player that you can never really write off as he moves in now from the southern end up to the wicket to bowl to Cannon. Cannon is driving up towards mid-off, cannot score even although they explored the possibility of a run, but the ball went too quickly down towards mid-off, and there was never any realistic chance of a run as Stark makes his way back to his mark at the southern end. Ayan Khan has got 16. Khalid Kale is not out on 8. Of course, Kale, the right-hander at the non-strikers end. Ayan Khan, the left-hander, on 16. 54 for the loss of 4 in the 12th over. Here is Stark, driven up towards extra cover. He'll get a run here because the ball wasn't fielded cleanly out of extra cover. It ricocheted down towards wide mid-off, and the batsman had time for one.
Yeah, a bit of a misfield, unusual. The professionalism from the Australian side, they pride themselves on quality work, quality in the field, batting, bowling. But I remember that phase when Mitchell Stark was struggling. They were calling for his head in many different quarters, and the team stuck with him because they know his quality. And sometimes it goes for you or against you. Sometimes you have those phases where you struggle, but it's good that they were able to persist with him.
With or without ability, there's something that is very important. I'll tell you what it is if you don't tell me first. This ball wide evolves so wide that it's called wide, in fact. I going through to the keeper, and the umpire signals wide. As I said, there's something, what did they say? Something that, along with, well, do you have the answer to the puzzle? Or I have to say it again? Okay, whether you have talent or whether you don't have talent, there's something that's very important. In other words, if you have talent, you still need this thing. If you don't have a lot of talent, you still need it. And you can work that one out. I hope. If you don't, I'll tell you. As Stark comes around the wicket into bowl to Kale, and Kale is he's setting himself to hit that one out of the park, but only got it back along the pitch to the bowler on the bounce, and there was no run. 56 for 4.
And what we were seeing from Mitchell Stark, when he starts with a new ball, he bowls over the wicket, looking to extract that swing full and straight. But as the luck is off the ball, and the balls get a bit softer, he comes around the wicket to bowl straighter, not to offer any room to the batter.
I'll give you another clue. The absence of that is what, to my mind, has significantly compromised the ability of the West Indies to produce a real champion spinner over the last 20, 30 years. Here is Stark around the wicket to bowl to Kale, and Kale gets a full toss and misses it. A bit whitish, he couldn't get across to it. In fact, he looks at the umpire, who doesn't show him any mercy, and Dot will have to go into the scorebook Kale has got 8, 17 to Can, and Oman 56 for the loss of 4. Haven't worked it out yet? Okay.
No, yeah, I was just focusing on the plans of the board.
Okay, so I'm distracting you.
I'm
so,
sorry.
Okay, I'll tell you. I don't know if you'll work it. You'll probably work it out if you weren't doing what you are being paid to do, and that is focus on this game. Start around the wicket, and a ball that is hit in the air, down to cover, the catch taken, and wicket number 5 goes down. Well set up, and that's the end of Kale. Caught out at the deep point. He goes for 8. More problems for Oman is 56 for the loss of 5.
Yes, and that's why it was distracted, because it was looking at the wicketkeeper, and he actually made a minor adjustment in terms of the fielder on a deep point boundary, and a well executed plan. Mr. Stark was able to bowl out full of wide. You can see the clear plans here. They're looking to attack, that 4 stump, because the batters are staying leg side of the ball, and it was well done. It was well planned, well thought out by the bowler and also the wicket keeper. The wicket keeper in cricket is important because the captain is so focused on plans and how he look at the right combinations and stuff. So the keeper is so important to the plan because he can make the minor adjustments in terms of the field placing, etc.
So as a captain, let's say whether you're captain in Barbados side, whether you're captain in Per Club or any other team that you would have captain, who are some of the wicket keepers who you found were particularly helpful to you?
Carlo Marsh was pretty helpful. Jamal Smith, Patrick Brown, all the keepers I play with. I thought Courtney Brown was excellent. Obviously he was captain wicket keeper, so he could see everything from his vantage point as a wicket keeper. But those guys were really good in terms of helping you because you're so focused on the game, on how you're looking at the plans down the road and thinking a little bit far ahead something. But having the keeper that is on top of things really help you as a captain.
You captained Courtney Brown at some point, huh?
No, I did not captain Courtney.
Okay. So he was your captain?
Yes, he was.
Yeah, okay. I seem to have your age mixed up. all day I've been calling it wrong in terms of your era, which is surprising. I'll tell you why. As this delivery is bringing in a loud shout, he's given leg before first ball. So Mitchell Stark on a roll. First ball, Shoaib has to go. Oman is all falling apart for them now. There's going to be a review, but I don't know if it will matter as the score now dips to 56 for the loss of 6.
And no real celebration here. You can see we spoke about the professionalism. First ball up, attacking the stumps. His modus operandi was attacking 4 stump. And what you would have seen here
we have a player
delivery.
review for LBW.
I believe it will be clipping leg. Umpire's call.
I've checked the feet. And
yeah, well, I got the last one correct.
Can we
too,
start
in
with
terms of
front on
umpire's
spin
call.
vision,
please? But that was after I saw the first replay. So I'm going to leave that one alone for now. And are we going to hear what the umpire is saying? Yes, let's listen to the third umpire. So 56 for 6 if this
Can you rock and roll that one more time for me?
is upheld.
The ball passing close to the inside edge. Can we confirm with ultra edge, please?
So it's a matter of edge or no edge.
Clear gap as the ball passes the bat.
No edge.
Satisfied, no bat involved. Ball tracking, please.
Now this is the big test here. Looks a bit high. You may be right. Maybe clipping, Ryan.
I'll go with umpire's call.
Yes. Nothing on ultra edge. A bit high, just about there.
Pitching outside off,
missing.
impact in line, wickets missing,
Missing.
original decision out.
Okay.
As if recommend you to change your decision. I'll let you know when you're on screen. You're on screen, please make the signal now.
So. All right, so dodged a bullet there. So that goes back to 56 for the loss of 5. Your thoughts?
Yeah, from our vantage point, for me, it looked like it was clipping leg, but,
It's a bit iffy.
it was a bit iffy.
Yeah. And I think if you look at it, start coming kind of wide there.
Yep.
And the angle saved the batsman. And 56 for 6. We've had 12 overs bowled. And at the start of the 30th, it's going to be Zampa. Just to solve one of those 2 puzzles that are thrown your way. I really should know better in terms of your era because I must admit, I was a big Ryan Hayes fan. I think you know this.
I know.
Yeah. So here is Zampa into bowl to the left-handed Can. And Can comes forward and pushes it up along the pitch. There's no run. So you've got Shoaib Can and Ayan Can. So I'm going to have to go with Ayan and Shoaib. This is Ayan, who waits for Zampa, no problems there. As this delivery is hurrying on to him. Loud shout for LBW again, but somehow they recognize that is a shout in vain and just simply turn and walk back to their mark. Zampa already back to his mark, and well, much ado about nothing.
Yeah, faster, flatter delivery, and you could clearly see that one missing leg. Very good delivery. It looks like the slide as well too, coming out of the front of the arm.
Here's Zampa. He's into Can, who is swinging this one out towards mid-wicket for a single. And that takes the score now up to 57 for the loss of 5. So let's work on the second puzzle. Something that is very important whether you have talent or not. And something, the lack of which has impacted the West Indies' ability to produce a real champion spinner over the last 30 years. And that is something called confidence. Here is Zampa bringing the batsman forward, and real problems again now for Oman because he's given coming forward, and the umpire giving him must have been a catch at the wicket as he came forward, and the umpire giving it, he's gone upstairs again, looks like. So well, the third umpire is working as hard as the umpires on the field, right?
And the batter looked bemused.
TV
He's
umpire to
probably
director.
asking what
We have a player review for catch. Original decision is out. I've checked the feet and it's a fair delivery. Can we start with front on spin vision, please?
Well, apart from the keeper running out from behind the stumps, I didn't see a whole lot of excitement on the part of Australia. But there again, we didn't see that for the LBW either, so that's
Correct.
not a whole lot of an indicator. But I don't know if he's just using the review because it's there, or if he genuinely believes he
Ball
didn't
is
hit
passing
it.
close to the outside edge.
On this side, he looked like
Can
he
we
missed
have
it.
ultra edge to
Probably
confirm, please?
Well,
clipping part.
At normal speed, it looks that way to me too. But I would imagine it had to hit something. Nothing.
Flat line as the
something,
ball
but not
passes the
batsman's
back.
according to
Satisfied,
what we're
no
seeing
bat
so
involved.
far. No bat involved.
Joel, recommend you to change your decision. You're on screen.
And for
Please make
the
the signal.
third time in the innings, Joel Wilson has to change his decision.
Yep. Against Australia as well too.
Yes. So, his partner had to make a change as well at one point. So, here's Zampa as he is ready to continue. The action continues. Here's Zampa now. He's the bowls to Shoaib Khan. Worked up towards mid-wicket. There's no run. So, yes, confidence. If you have talent, but you don't have confidence, that can compromise your ability to perform.
Agreed.
If you're not supremely talented, but you're confident, sometimes you can play above yourself.
Absolutely.
Here is a ball that brings the batsman down the crease, and coming down the crease to York himself virtually. So more problems for the Oman side. The wickets continue to tumble. Shoaib goes without scoring. It's now 57 for the loss of 6.
And what we're saying here, for example, he has got the lot. The googly, the slider, the flipper. And I'm very impressed with his variation, also control. You know, and what we see here in terms of this delivery, the batter basically yorked himself. He was advancing down the crease and he yorked himself. He probably got a bit too close to the delivery and yorked himself. And again, a very good ball. And that one seemed to have drifted, you know, and probably beat him for pace.
Yes, 57 for 6. And as the new batsman comes in, just to finish off what I was saying, so as that relates to the West Indies spinners over the last 20 years, if you've got spinners coming in, out, and in a period of a year using 3 and 4, no one can develop confidence. So therefore, it's going to be very hard for anybody to maximize their potential.
I mean, continuity is important,
Yeah.
Philip. Even when you look at our spinners, as you rightfully said, over the years, you know, it's difficult because players like continuity. Playing and looking over your shoulder is kind of difficult because you know you're under pressure.
Yeah.
You know you're under, and we don't play that much cricket in the Caribbean as well too. So
The Australian off spinner is a world-class off spinner, but he didn't start as a world-class off spinner. But he played virtually every match because they recognize, we're investing in this guy. And he played virtually every game.
And that makes a difference.
And that's how he emerged to be a world-class spinner. You don't. It seems as though we're waiting for a world-class spinner to turn up, then to play him. It doesn't work like that. Here is a delivery which is steered down towards the third man position at the start of over number 14. And the return comes in. So the left-handed Ayan Khan gets a single as the new batsman coming to the crease is Miran, who we saw with the ball and who actually did a fine job up until his very last over when he went for something like, 4 sixes we saw?
Yeah. And what we are seeing a change in the attack as well too. Josh Hazelwood back into the attack.
Yes, Hazelwood moves past the umpire. He's into a ball, and this delivery is swung away out towards mid-wicket, forward square. In fact, they go for 1. They will just get the 1 run. So Maran Khan, lots of cans in the Oman side. Maran Khan, he comes in to join Ayan Khan, and he's off the mark with a single. So Oman now up to 58 for the loss of 6.
I'm surprised not to see the introduction of the captain himself, Mitch Marsh. I'm surprised not to see him, bowling a couple of overs.
Well, I think he had been struggling with some sort of an injury over the past several weeks. Here's the ball steered down towards third man by Ayan Khan, and will get a single to move his personal contribution up to 20 and the score onto 60 for the loss of 6. Not to suggest that he's not back to match fitness, but it could be a question where he's saving himself, for later things.
In terms of the balance of the Australia side, what is your take in terms of the balance? Because remember, Pat Cummins is not playing today.
Yeah, well, some of us believe that, it's the IPL and what we call workload management. Here is Josh Hazelwood as he makes his way into bowl to Maran Khan. In the air, out towards the straightish mid-wicket position. They're coming back for 2. Let's watch the return. It's a strong return, but the batsmen complete 2 without too many alarms and taking the score up to 62 for the loss of 6 in over number 14.
Yes, the batter trying to hit that one down the ground. He did time it as well as he would like. Probably got some pace, and you can see it hit height on the bat as well too. But again, good bowling. You can clearly see where Josh Hazelwood is looking to attack the stumps. And like I say, a fit Mitchell Marsh is important in this Australia team.
Maran Khan is wrapped on the pad. The ball goes down towards the keeper. And no shout, and maybe do some bat as well. He rehearses what he wanted to do, which was to pull the ball into the onside, but he got it all wrong. Maybe a lack of bounce deceived him. But after all that, he survives. And Josh Hazelwood makes his way back to his mark. Operating without a slip. He's got a man, third man. He's got his point. He's got a deep cover. Then there is an extra cover mid-off. There is a long on, straight mid-wicket. And a backward square right out to the boundary, fine leg in as well. So, let's watch. Hazelwood moving past the umpire, right arm over the wicket, into bowl to Maran Khan, hit in the air, down towards the long on boundary. That's gone for 6. What a lovely hit. And coming out of nowhere because the ball has dominated the bat over the last, for most of the innings. But that was a nice, meaty hit by Maran Khan.
Good balance, good poise, a good execution in terms of his swing, and that's a really well executed shot. Hitting straight is always value for money hitting straight.
So we are in over number 14, 68 for the loss of 6, and the over comes to an end. So at the end of over number 14, the latest score at Kensington, Oman 68 for 6, the target 165.
Yeah, yes, we can see a change of attack from another end. Mitch start back into the attack. So clearly they're looking to utilize this. I believe this is going to be the plans in terms of preparing for England.
So we're seeing a dry run.
I believe so. I believe so.
That is to switch the bowlers around. Well, we can elaborate on that plan. Here is a ball that's outside the batsman's legs. So from that end, the wides continue. And what's wrong with Start? He seemed in a bit of discomfort there. That's not part of the plan, I'm sure. So let's see. He seems to have done something to himself, but he's walking fairly freely. So whatever it is, it may not be too critical. What are your thoughts there, Ryan?
It looked like a bit of a calf strain. A little calf muscle. Yeah, he's down again, Philip. Let's hope he's not injured, because he's a guy that we're looking forward to seeing, particularly as a tournament advances. This is a guy that's important to the Australia team.
Well, now we look at the replay as he walked off. He was. It looked from this distance that he was walking with some degree of comfort, but looking at the replay close up, he actually hobbled. It's just that he hobbled quickly. And then went down again.
Could it be? I mean, he would have played all the matches in the IPL, having to travel a long distance to the Caribbean.
Cramp? Let's hope it's something like that.
I hope it's not serious. I hope it's not serious because we're looking forward to see him on Saturday.
Oh, yes, you want to see both sides at their best. But you can see that
he's struggling. You can see clearly that he's struggling.
Yeah. The only thing is that he's not gone off as yet, which may suggest that he's prepared to try to work through it.
Seems as though he's getting a bit of salts as well too from the physio.
Maybe the cramp then.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope so, because that will pass more quickly than other forms of injury.
I think the workload management, particularly with these players that would have went deep into the IPL tournament, we would also be watching the Indian team as well too.
Well, if that is the case, I don't know. I don't mean to be unkind, Ryan, but I would have less sympathy. I mean, the World Cup, the fixtures for the World Cup didn't
tight. It was too tight.
Weren't created. The fixtures for the World Cup weren't created 6 weeks ago. So they should never have been a situation where the IPL affected the World Cup in that way. Where you've got a team, Australian team. They can't send a full team for warm-up matches. You're making a mockery of the cricket. Right?
Also, our team had been impacted as well too. The series against South Africa, we were without our captain.
Yeah.
Rutherford and a couple other players. So in terms of the preparation, I believe it was a little too tight.
And the irony there is that, well, you had some guys. I suppose the guys who didn't make it home were the guys who were actually playing. But it was an unnecessary distraction as far as I'm concerned.
I agree. We're not missing any action as ground staff enters the field. It looks as though there's a bit of sawdust. It's probably a bit slippery.
So the decision on Stark.
Yeah. It seems as though
he's gone off, hasn't he?
Stark has left the field.
He's left the field, yes.
So it's more serious than we thought.
Well, here's hoping that whatever it is, it will be quickly addressed. We wouldn't want either team, England or Australia. Well, you don't like to see any player injured, but with the anticipation of this big match on Saturday, which is pretty much one of the highlights of the Kensington leg of the World Cup. Some people would say they suffer through the other matches to see what we expect to be a fairly balanced contest, and that is the first, let's say, if you will, of such contests. Then, of course, there are 3 Super 8 games, and then the big one, the final, and already sold out. So I hope you're not looking for any tickets for friends or family, Ryan.
Friends or family are well taken care of, Philip. In terms of the bowler finishing the over, it looks like Glenn Maxwell.
Well, ironically, he's got to start it as well because the first ball was a wide. So there are no legal deliveries yet in over number 15. So it's going to be Maxwell to come around the wicket to bowl to Ian Khan. And this delivery is pushed up into the covers and there's no run.
Do you believe that there are question marks over the form and the place of Glenn Maxwell in the Australia team?
Here is Maxwell, get back to that, around the wicket into bowl, and this delivery is turned up towards mid-wicket. They go for one. I believe they'll come for the second. Yes, no, and in the end, no, and in the end, probably a wise decision. To answer your question, I'm not sure to answer that for this reason. Australia is a unit. It's a unit. And therefore, it's often not difficult to be without a player for whatever reason. And when you replace that player, the team is actually just as strong. Unlike a team, once again, we'll get back to it. Here's a ball that is played up towards the long on position. They go for one. They'll stay on one. And that takes the score up to 71 for the loss of 6. Unlike some other teams that tend to be a one-man show or 2 or 3-man show. So if Maxwell is going through a lean period and he himself feels that a break is necessary, to me, it's not a big issue. Here is a ball outside the batsman's legs and appeal for stumping. Let's see what the umpire will do. Will he check or will he make a decision straight up? If he makes a decision straight up, it will have to be no. But he's decided to go upstairs. So the players are going to have a bit of a breather as the umpire checks for the leg side stumping. 71 for 6, halfway through over number 15.
TV umpire to director.
Here's the umpire.
We have an umpire review for stumping. I've checked the feet and it's a fair delivery. Can you give me the best
That
side on
looks
angle,
close,
please?
Philip.
Well, we'll soon know. Took his time to make the signal, the umpire. But there's no time limit on that I'm aware of.
Very good take from Wade.
Wade removing the bills. Didn't get the vibe that...
Can you roll it back and roll it forward for me one more time?
Looks as though he never left the crease. Actually.
Foot is grounded when the bails light up. I'm ready with my decision
Yes, so
for the
not
big screen.
Much ado about nothing yet again. So you were making a point.
In terms of Maxwell, I
Oh,
think...
no. You had asked me a question.
Yes, yes.
So, I think the important thing goes back to that confidence again. If the players know that the selectors back them, the captain back them, but strategically you may need to make a change, then I think that's fine. It's where you have a situation where a guy is constantly in and out. Coming forward is the left-handed can. The return comes in, not taken by the keeper, but they complete the run to take the score up to 72 for the loss of 6. As I was saying, the thing is to have that confidence. That comes from the confidence your captain shows in you, the confidence the selector is showing you. You will go through bad periods, and sometimes during that time you may need to take a break. But it does not necessarily impact the strength of the side. So to me, it's not really a critical issue. Here is a ball that is played up into the cover area. They will get a single, taking the score up to 73 for the loss of 6. The thing about Maxwell is that his greatest value is with his power hitting.
Yeah.
And there are other power hitters in the side.
Yep.
I think the Australian side, for example, we were worried about Stark. But even in the absence of Stark, it doesn't mean that the Australia side is going to be so depleted in bowling that they're going to be compromised. But it's simply that you want to see the best out there, if you get my point.
I agree with you 100%.
Here's Maxwell around the wicket, played up into the onside. They go through for a single. Maxwell running around very quickly, but can't stop the run. And the score goes up to 75 for the loss of 6. At the end of over number 15, Oman set 165 for victory, and the latest, 74 for 6.
Yeah, as you rightfully said, in terms of that confidence. So remember, Maxwell played a match-winning innings on one foot in the World Cup.
Yes.
You know, if you remember that innings,
course.
a brilliant innings.
Yeah.
And the Australian team was struggling. So like you said, that confidence within the group, they believe, they know what he can do. I just say he's an impact player. He can get a couple of wickets. He can run out. He can run you out. He can bat. He can field. He's a complete package.
And that's the
These
thing
type
about
of
it.
players.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's the other thing about players like Maxwell especially. There are some players who they're not giving you maximum value if they don't score consistently. But then there are some players who don't need to score consistently, but they still give you value. I'll elaborate on that as the over progresses. Here's Zampa, the first delivery of the over, just over the head, is it? In fact, he's able to, yes, he didn't get hold of it. Over his head, it's gone for 6. But the fielder out there was interested for a very long time. It cleared him and went for 6. A good hit by Ayan.
Yeah, very good shot. A loose delivery for Zampa. And the batter was able to hit it into the stands. And again, like I said, if they can get up to 120, we would believe, the Oman team would be very happy.
So 75 for 6 at the start of over number 16. Here is Zampa as he makes his way into both Ayan. Ayan turns this down to short fine leg, gets an easy single, and the score now moves up to 82 for the loss of 6. Yes, as I was saying, there are some players who, even if they're going through something, you can be patient with them, because you know that when they come off, it's going to make a massive difference. It's only if that player begins to lose confidence, maybe, that you may want to give him a break, let him go back and work on something. And whenever that thought comes to me, I think of Dwayne Smith.
Yep.
I'll elaborate on that if I need to. A ball that swung away off the inner portion of the bat, though. He was looking to hit it in front of the bat on the leg side, got it behind square, down towards a short fine leg area, a run nevertheless. And the Oman side, they continue to and move on. And up now to what? 83 for the loss of 6 wickets. 80. Yes, here is Zampo. And that's another big one. Whoa. The Oman lower order certainly enjoying themselves, Ryan Hines. Yet another 6. And you were talking about 120. It could very well get to that.
Yeah, a beautifully executed shot. A bit of loop there, for example, and the batter was equal to the task.
Certainly
Well played.
reminding Zampa that he's in a cricket match. Now, that one was struck much more powerfully than the previous one, which kept the fielder interested. This one went out of the park very easily. This one going in the air, down towards the short fine leg. The catch is taken, and the entertainment has come to an end. Ian Khan caught at that short fine leg position for 36, and the Oman side now lose wicket number 7.
You spoke about confidence. What we would have seen, for example, confidence. That delivery was a well-flighted delivery. I believe he would have bowled it from behind the crease in terms of variation, tried to outfox the batsman, and he was able to induce a fault shot and a simple catch at short fine leg.
Well, I'm going to go further here now. Had that been Hayden Walsh Jr. being struck for a couple of 6s, would he have the confidence to continue to flight the ball or to try to trick the batsman through the air? Because he knows that he's likely going to be dropped the next match.
That's a good one. That's a good one, Phil. I believe he would have probably,
And that's not
had a bit of
indication.
variation.
That's
I
nothing
understand
to
where
do
you're
with
coming from.
Hayden
I
Walsh
understand
Jr.
it. Yes.
It is the mindset and the environment in which he operates that intimidates.
He has a very good hand here for Ian Khan, 36 from 30 deliveries, and he was entertaining and probably sad to see him go. And the score is 89 for 7 in 15 overs and 5 balls.
89 for the loss of 7. The target 165. So yes, I talked about Dwayne Smith, and to my mind, Dwayne Smith coming into the West Indies team, scoring a century early on in the Test side. A guy with the ability to bat, to bowl, medium pace, to keep wicket, brilliant fielder. And you can't find a player for him in a losing West Indies side. Remarkable. How much talent have you wasted over the years? I'm not going to get
You could probably write a book, Philip.
Well, it would have to be a series of books. Dwayne Smith may be one volume. Here is a ball that is beating the batsman completely and going through to the keeper. The end of over number 16. And after 16 overs, the latest score at Kensington, Oman 89 for 7.
A beautiful flighted delivery. Look as though it was the googly as well too. And what we're seeing here in terms of spin bowling, leg spinners in the last couple of years, Philip, have been very useful. They've been very effective and efficient, and particularly in this format of the game. When you look at Rashid Khan, Adil Rashid, these guys have been effective in the shorter format.
Yes, very much so. Shaquille, the new batsman here, and we saw some good bowling from him.
And that was a googly first, but that was a well bowled, for example. He's really using all of his variations here. We see it's a good quality.
So now it will be, let's see who's going to pick it up.
He looked like Josh Hazelwood.
Josh Hazelwood coming back into the attack. Operating from the northern end. Sets off now and comes in to bowl to Moran, who is pulling this one down towards backward square. Where is that gone?
Shot.
It has gone out towards backward square. It's gone for 4 actually. So well played. And the ideal outcome for him.
That was a beautiful shot. Short delivery, not much pace. And the batter was able to get in a really good position and pull that behind square. Disdain. That was disdain. Watch. Oh, beautiful shot.
So Moran goes to 16. It's 93 for the loss of 7. So he's got 16. Shaquille Ahmed, his partner, is yet to score. As Hazelwood moves in again to bowl to Moran, tries to hoist that through the onside, goes into the pad and trickles out towards mid-wicket. The batsman crossed for 1, leg by signal by umpire Joel Wilson. And now the new batsman, Shaquille, comes down to face Hazelwood for the first time.
And in spite of his fact, he scored 90 odd for 7. I've been impressed with their attitude.
Yes, they haven't. Well, one could argue they may have played one or two shots that you wouldn't necessarily agree with, but they've got to get runs somehow. And they haven't played like a team that's overawed by the situation. Yep. They may have played like a team that's somewhat outmatched in terms of ability, but they fought. A ball played down towards short third man. There's no run. So 94 for the loss of 7 in over number 17.
And what we can see here, Josh, here's we're using his variations. That look like a cutter. And one grip in the surface as well too. So we're going to see a lot of this comes Saturday. Variations, short balls, Yorkers, cutters. It's going to be an interesting matchup.
Here is Hazelwood. And the left-handed Shaquille waits for him. Advances and drives through the offside, down towards backward point. They'll get one. How often do you see a number 9 batsman advance into Josh Hazelwood?
Not very often. But it speaks to their attitude and they wanted to do well, and that confidence that you spoke about earlier. And that confidence came from the way how they bat their ball and feel in the first innings.
Yep. And as I said, confidence can make ordinary players play above themselves. We haven't necessarily seen Oman play too much above themselves, but they're certainly playing, as you said, not being overawed. In the air, this is going to fall into the gloves of the keeper of the helmet, I believe. And the ball taken by the keeper. And all's well that ends well, as Oman 95 for the loss of 7.
Yeah, a well-directed, short pitch delivery. That one had a bit of pace, and then the batsman was struck in his head. And the protocol though is the physio coming out, and hopefully he's okay and he could continue. But like I said, what we are seeing here is a variation from the fast bowlers, and all these variations, I believe, like I said, they're collecting data from the surface to see what type of deliveries will be effective come Saturday.
Yes. So you think they're trying out the plan here?
Yes, I believe so. You can see here a cross seam short ball. With a cross seam, it skids a bit. Normal seamer, normal presentation of the seam.
Right.
It's not as far with the flash, with the cross seam. The ball hits the what you said, the shiny side on the side, not the seam, and then it skids. So it gets onto you faster than you expect.
Well, if they're having a dress rehearsal for Saturday, if England have a dress rehearsal against Scotland, they'll need to go and come again.
That's a good one, Philip. That's a good one. That was a really good match. We were hoping that match could have finished, but tonight, beautiful conditions here, beautiful weather tonight as well too.
Yeah, but even the fact that England didn't get full points as would have been expected could make a difference moving forward, depending on the various results. They would definitely want to. I think it's critical for them to do well against Australia, just to be sure. Here is Hazelwood, and this delivery is well up and steered out into the deep cover position for a run. So a single that will advance the score now up to, what is it?
96 for 7.
96 for 7. So at the end of over number 17, the latest score, 96 for 7 here at Kensington.
Yes, and what we are seeing here is a really professional performance from the Australians. So you can see clearly why they're winners and they're accustomed to winning. Like for the first half, you see that they were placed under pressure and they were able to adapt to the conditions and play accordingly. Then we're seeing here with the bowling, clear plans in terms of the length and lengths that they want to bowl, aggressive into the pitch, and it's really good to see.
Nathan Ellis with the ball in his hand yet again, and this is a player who exudes energy as he runs away from us, moves past the umpire up to the wicket to bowl to Marin Khan, who is swinging and gets this one out towards wide long on. They go for one. They will stay on one. So single to further the cause of the Oman side to get them closer to that 120 that you were talking about. A picture of Mitchell Stark, very pensive looking Mitchell Stark. But he's not on the physio's table. That's good signs. That's probably a good sign. Ellis at the top of his mark. 100% effort from this man. Nathan Ellis back for his third over as he moves into bowl to the left-handed Shaquille, who is driving hard down towards the long off position for a single. And Oman move closer to three figures, up to 98 for the loss of 7.
And we're also seeing Cameron Green on the field, another guy that we didn't speak about, who's highly rated in the Australian ranks.
Well, this is the thing I talked about when I said that the absence of a player, whether for form or injury or workload management, does not necessarily compromise this Australian team. He is a perfect like-for-like for Mitch Marsh. As Ellis is into bowl, and Marin Khan gets this one over the bowler's head, down towards between long on and long off. Between the two of them, they're able to stop it, and the batsman crossed for 1. Now, as I said, a perfect like-for-like for Mitch Marsh, but could also play the role of almost any one of the faster bowlers if called upon to do so.
Agreed.
I'm not saying that he's as good as Pat Cummins or any of them, but if necessary, he could actually play that role in a test match if he had to, and most certainly in a white ball contest.
Agreed, Philip.
Here is Ellis as he continues into both to Shaquille. Shaquille drives hard, but again, straight down to long off, and once more, just the 1 run for him.
100 is up.
Yes, 100 coming up.
Good effort for Oman.
18th over, very good effort indeed. Halfway through the 18th over, and you think maybe Australia has eased off the pressure, you think, or not necessarily so?
Like I said, I'm happy with the attitude of the Oman batters. You can clearly see that they're still looking, to play aggressively and running well between the wickets as well too.
Ellis looking for more success here as he continues to bowl to Moran, and Moran is hitting this one hard out towards mid-wicket and gets a boundary for it. In fact, it's gone for the maximum. He's gone for 6, and a nice solid hit, clearing the boundary at forward square.
Yes, a beautifully executed shot. Saying we spoke about the attitude and that confidence, and he was able to get it over the boundary. And again, once they could get it to 120 plus, they would feel that they had a decent night out.
But I think they've had a decent night out even now. But your point is taken. Certainly 120 looks a lot more competitive. And one would think if they're not bowled out, they could get somewhere near there. It's 106 for 7. After this delivery, 2 overs left. As Ellis makes his way into bowl to Moran, and Moran is trying to reach a ball that is called wide by the umpire, trying to maybe just run it down towards third man. Didn't have much a chance of doing so. It was too wide, and Ellis will have to try again.
And what you can see here, that the crowd is appreciative of Oman effort after we're at the 100, and people just want to see that competitive spirit and that competitive nature. It's about T20 cricket is about entertainment, and also we want to see teams being competitive.
So Ellis in his third over, 1 for 11 before this. Would love to pick up another wicket here. And this is a lovely stroke played through the covers. We'll get runs here. A deep cover will come around and keep the scoring down to 2. But that was well played. It was in the air, but well away from anyone else. And again, just a nice float-looking stroke and picking up 2 runs. So, at the end of over number 18, the latest score at Kensington, Oman set 165, 107 for 7.
107 for 7 with 12 ball legal deliveries remaining. Like I say, hopefully they could get to 120, 125 marks, and they would believe that, we were able to compete with a really good side. And that would give them confidence going further into the tournament.
109 for 7. They lost the opening game against Namibia, barely, defending 109 and then letting themselves down a bit in the super over with the ball. And that didn't really work for them. But I think they are showing here that the performance against Namibia, it was a losing cause, but they were very competitive, and they're showing that it was no fluke and that their presence in this World Cup is well deserved. They've competed well so far. And 2 overs left, 109 for 7, 18 overs gone. And Wade assisting with the setting of the field as he is tended to do. So Mitchell Stark injured and off the field. A couple of runs here for the Oman side once again. So a couple more runs. That score creeping up, 111 for the loss of 7. The scoreboard looking more and more respectable as the lower order continue to pick up runs.
Stoinis back into the attack. The man of the day. The man of the moment.
Yes, 2 for 7 to him. And scored 67, top score. I suppose a strong candidate for man of the match, as he is at the top of his mark, comes around the wicket to bowl to the left-handed Shaquille, who is cutting hard down to backward point. That runs into the boundary for 4. That was a shot of authority. That reminds me of the former West Indies opener before your time. No, I'm not going to say Red Hines. You were not an opener. Roy Fredericks.
That's a lovely shot. You can see Stoinis into the surface, and the batter waited and opened his wrist at the last minute. I got that one to the right of the point, feed on the boundary. Well played.
So 115 for the loss of 7. We are into the penultimate over, being bowled by Stoinis. Figures of 2 for 13. Stoinis says he's around the wicket to bowl to Shaquille. That's a wide called by the umpire. We've had quite a few wides, and in fact, if there's one area where the Aussies have not shown discipline tonight, it's in bowling of wides. They've certainly got to get that sorted out against England.
Pretty sure that they would address that. Well, what we're seeing here, though, Philip, is a really good effort from the Oman side. Really good effort.
They need 50 from 10 balls. That's not going to happen. But they are doing well to have come this far. 116 for 7. Here is Stoinis around the wicket, and a ball that is squirted into the deep cover region for a single. Shaquille continuing to do well and support Maran Khan. 116 for the loss of 7. Shaquille Ahmed, he's got 9. And, well, his highest score in T20 internationals prior to this was 23. So he's not likely to pass that tonight. But if you look at his first class record, that tends to tell the tale of a batsman's ability. He's got a highest score of 120, not out an average of 26. And 1 century, no half century. So he's not a batsman as such, but he's no rabbit either. Maran Khan is hitting this one in the air, down towards wide long on, and the ball is taken on the long on boundary, is it? Yes, I think it is. It was one of those, in fact, the umpires are going to have a discussion. The fielder from here, and it's a long distance away from us, but it looked as though he had thrown the ball up, then left the field, returned to the field, and taken the catch. That's how it looked, but the replay will tell us what really happened. Let's see. The ball was taken. Yeah, it looks pretty good to me.
TV umpire to director.
The guys practice
We have an umpire review for a fair catch.
So
I've checked the feet. It's a fair delivery.
they're going to review
Can you give me
it,
the
but
best angle of the
I
catch,
think
please?
he's going to be out. I don't see anything there that suggests the catch was not cleanly taken, but umpire Wilson is making sure that the batsman doesn't move as yet.
You know, Tim David was able to
First
cover
contact
good
within
ground.
the field of play.
He's pretty tall as well, too.
Throws the ball
Tim
out.
David.
He is very solid cricketer,
Okay.
Tim David.
Gets back onto the field. Takes a fair catch.
Yes, it's a fair
Satisfied,
catch.
ready with my
and,
decision for the
well,
big
we knew
screen.
that all along, but they had to go through the process, I suppose. So Maran is gone for 27. It's now 117 for 8. So you're going to get your 120, yeah, right? Looks
Yeah,
like.
handy innings from Maran. And again, a well-judged catch. You know, when you look at the warm-ups, the guys practice these, Philip. You would have seen a lot of catches like these in the last couple of years,
But
last couple of seasons.
I think if there's one thing T20 has done for cricket, it has brought about a dramatic change to how fielding is done. You know,
The
and
attitude
some
to
of that
fielding.
has transferred to Test cricket as
Yes,
well. You wouldn't see
yes.
this happening this often in a Test match because you don't see sixes to that extent. But a lot of it has transferred even to Test cricket. So that's one thing you really can't fault, T20 about. But a good knock played by Maran Khan, 26 off 16 deliveries.
And Stoinis into the wickets again.
Yes, he must be the man of the match, I would imagine. 67 not out. That alone, under the conditions, would give him an advantage over most. And the wickets really, that's just gravy, if you will. So the new batsman is Kalimula, who comes out to join Shaquille. And here is Stoinis moving in to bowl to Kalimula. Kalimula is hitting this in the air, down towards a similar area, this time a lot wider. They will be content with 2. It didn't carry all the way down in the air as the previous one did. And a couple of runs to take the score up to 119 now for the loss of 8 in over number 19.
Good placement, but not power. But like I said, you can see the clear mindset of the Oman players. They really enjoying themselves tonight. And again, I've been very impressed with what I've seen from this Oman team.
Yes, they've certainly earned their keep, so to speak. Outmatched by a far superior team, but you would not have known that for much of the first innings for sure, as Stoinis is into the batsman who is hitting this one in the air just out of the reach of cover. And they will come back for the second run. So the runs continue to come. They continue to bat with energy and enthusiasm. Kalimula has got 2. Shaquille has got 10. It's 119, I make it, as the over comes to an end. So we've seen now the completion of 19 overs. And at the end of 19 overs, the latest score, Oman 119 for the loss of 8. 120, in fact, for the loss of 8, chasing 165.
And they got up to the 120, so it's a really good effort. Given the fact they were 89 for 7 at one stage. You know, good fight, good partnership. You know, just like to see a solid finish to the game, and you know, Oman could leave Kensington over with their heads held high.
Well, it makes one wonder about that period between the 10th over and the 15th over, where they needed to make further inroads. But excellent work by Warner and Stoinis kept them out, and then at the finish, the Aussies were able to pull away. Here's a drive by Shaquille down towards long off. The batsmen go for 1, and that's all that they'll get as the score goes up now to 122 for the loss of 8. The Oman need 43 runs now from the final 5 deliveries. And the new batsman, Kalimula, taking guard from the umpire. 121 for the loss of 122, in fact, for the loss of 8. With the final over entrusted to Nathan Ellis, who runs away from us up to the wicket to bowl to Kalimula in the air, down to short third man, not taken. The ball hitting the fielder's hand. Seemed to be a bit casual in the way he went about it. The ball just high above his head, hitting his hand, and the batsmen were able to get a single.
Yes, as you rightfully said, again, our guy Stoinis seems to be a bit casual, move a bit late. And, you know, by the standards, the Australians set themselves that you know, they're going to look at the minor mishaps in the field, and they're going to try to correct them.
Well, he's probably done enough to get the man of match award, so he's not giving us everything. Hit away down towards the point position, the catch taken low down, and wicket number 9 goes as Shaquille turns and heads for the pavilion. Wicket number 9 going down, and the Oman side 123 for the loss of 9. So no question of just batting out the overs. They're going after it all the way down. They're playing a true T20 style all the way to the end. And the fall of wicket number 9.
Yes, as you rightfully said, the only difference they didn't get enough bat on it, but we can see the attitude of the Oman. So trying to entertain the crowd here. And again, a professional performance from the Australian team. And 1 or 2, you know, mishaps in the field. But having said that, I thought that their plans were clear. The lines and lengths they were looking to bowl were clear. And, you know, they're probably going to put their feet up and get ready for the game come Saturday.
Prajapati was leg before wicket to Ellis for 7. Arthur Vale was LBW to start without scoring. Akib was caught by keeper Wade off the bowling of Stoinis for 18. Zishan was caught by Wade off the bowling of Stoinis for 1. Khalid Kale was caught by Maxwell off the bowling of Stark for 8. Ian Khan caught by Hazelwood off the bowling of Zampa for 36 off 30 balls, 2 4s, 2 6s. I'll get back to the scorecard after Ellis is into the number 11 batsman who has a big swing and doesn't make contact. Bilal, who is the number 11 batsman, coming in to join Kalimula. Kalimula's got 5. So back to the scorecard. Ian Khan caught Hazelwood bowls Zampa 36, 2 6s, 2 4s, 30 balls he faced. Shoaib Khan bowled by Zampa without scoring. Marin Khan caught by David off the bowling of Stoinis for 27 off 16 deliveries, 2 6s and 1 4. Here is Ellis on a drive down towards long off. Easy single. And a single that gets Bilal Khan off the mark. And it brings Kalimula back on strike to face the bowling of Nathan Ellis with what? Just a couple of deliveries left in the over. 1 delivery left, in fact, to end the game. So Bilal and Kalimula together. Kalimula will face the final delivery as Nathan Ellis, with the final delivery of the over and of the innings, makes his way into bowl to Kalimula, who is hitting this one awkwardly out towards point. Will get a run, and that is that. The innings has come to an end. A comfortable victory to the Australians, 125 for the loss of 9 Oman in reply to 165 made by Australia. So it means that the Aussies have won by some 40 runs. Yes, some 40 runs. They have defeated the Oman side in a match that had its moments, Ryan Hines. We saw some good cricket. We saw, yes, the dominance of a powerhouse, but we also saw the determination of one of the less fancied sides, and it shows what can be done with some effort and belief. Australia actually winning by 39 runs, and they now will feel that they are truly warmed up and ready for the big one on Saturday.
You touched on some good points there, Philip. In terms of the Oman in the field, they were brilliant. You know, the Australians didn't get it all their way, particularly for the first 11 overs. But that partnership with David Warner and Stoinis really gave them that impetus that it is needed. And they were able to get it to 164. And then with the ball, again, our guy Stoinis, Mitch Stark picking up the early wicket, but Stoinis for me was the man. For me, the man of the match, and his performances really changed the course of the particularly the game and the play for Australia.
Yes, so a victory to Australia by some 39 runs. And in a minute, I will go through the scorecard for you before we go across to the presentation. Hopefully, I think we'll be able to take that in. No, we're not taking the presentation. Okay, so just to finish the details, Shakil Ahmed caught by Warner off the bowling of Ellis for 11. Kalimula not out 6. Bilal Khan unbeaten on 1. 10 extras made up of 2 leg byes and 8 wides. 125 for the loss of 9. And bowling for Australia, Mitchell Stark 3 overs no maidens, 2 for 20. Josh Hazelwood 4 overs no maidens, none for 21. Nathan Ellis 4 overs no maidens, 2 for 28. Marcus Stoinis 3 overs no maidens, 3 for 19. Glenn Maxwell 2 overs no maidens, none for 11. And Adam Zampa 4 overs no maidens, 2 for 24. Ryan Hines, victory to Australia by 39 runs. Your thoughts on the contest?
Yes, in a professional performance for the Australia team. Basically, when the Oman team with a bat, we knew that they were going to be up against it, but they put up a good fight, a good showing. I thought this was a really good showing tonight. It wasn't as one-sided as we expected it to be, because the Oman said, we have to lament on this, they were excellent in the field. Excellent.
So, looking forward to the upcoming fixtures?
Yeah, very much so. Looking forward to Saturday fixture. There's also a fixture on tomorrow, and also Friday. And then the big one on Saturday. We're definitely looking forward to that.
Yes, you were talking about the Australians using this as a planning exercise. Strategically, though, what do you expect from the two teams?
Entertaining cricket, bat versus ball, particularly with the new ball for both teams. Both teams have quality new ball bowlers, pace. Then the battle in the middle overs with the quality of the spin bowlers as well too. We're aiming for a really good battle come Saturday, and hopefully it lives up to that.
Well, yes. You know, I wouldn't let you get away without talking about West Indies. Uganda defeating PNG earlier. And this was after the Papua New Guinea gave the West Indies a good run for their money. And Uganda easily succumbed to Afghanistan. What do we read into that? And what should the West Indies read into all that?
I don't think I read too much into it. I expect the West Indies team to get out of that group. I'm pretty sure that we're going to take every team we play against as serious as possible and try to, show the quality and the class of the squad, and hopefully, like I said, we have Afghanistan, who's a really good side. New Zealand, don't forget New Zealand. And also, I believe we're going to play a really good game against
tricky
Uganda.
pitch to start on. What was you thinking when you joined David Warner? You just lost a couple of wickets.
Yeah, just lost a couple of wickets. I mean, just looking to hit the ball hard along the ground really to start. Just keep it simple. Try and soak up the conditions a little bit. Wasn't easy, and then just pick your bowlers and aim straight really.
Was it harder to face spin or seam on there?
I think the spin, I guess. Yeah, couple keeping low, couple spinning, couple not spinning, you know how it is. So, yeah, probably the spin. But with the new ball, the quicks look tough as well.
And that 15th over, was that always the case you were going to go after it, or was it just in the slot?
Not particularly. Davey and I spoke about just targeting the first couple of balls of that next over. And then you know how it is when you get the first couple of balls for a boundary, you think, well, we may as well try and turn this into a big over. But not 100% committed to that.
And as a seamer, what was your thinking? Quite a few cross-seam deliveries in there.
Yeah, just mix the seam up. It seemed like swing wasn't the way. It was trying to get some uneven bounce out of the wicket. So more angled seam, a few cross seam and that sort of thing, and a few bounced a little bit extra.
And have you put on a yard of pace? You had Wadey diving around back there. You'd seemed to stuff him a couple of times.
I don't know about that. I think maybe, I don't know what the speedos said, but they turned up, or was it still staying 129? I hope it was ticked over 130.
Well played. Many congratulations.
Thanks, Naz. Thanks, mate. Cheers.
So, there you have it. Stoinis, the man of the match, as expected.
No surprise, really. Like I said, he changed the phase of the game. Then he bowled really well, and as he spoke about it in his interview, using cutters on the surface to create that invariable bounce. So that's smart. You could clearly see the plans that they're going to use going into Saturday.
Before Saturday, the USA coming up against Pakistan.
That seems to be a very good encounter. The USA team going into that game with a bit of confidence. Excellent innings from Aaron Jones. So a pretty good, should be a good contest. In World Cup, you should not take any team for granted.
You've been around Aaron Jones locally, even if you haven't played in a team with him. The manner in which he played surprised you?
No, he played really well. I'll be looking forward to it.
Okay, well, also looking forward to Namibia versus Scotland at this venue tomorrow. And I suppose our executive producer, Andrew Mason, will be telling us a bit more about that. So meanwhile, just before we hand over to Andrew, just let me remind you that Australia defeated Oman by some 39 runs here at Kensington. And, a win for the Aussies. Oman again showing what they're made of, but outpowered, outmatched by the powerful Aussies. Andrew?
Yeah, well, just to let everyone know that we want to thank them for being very much with us. We're going to continue our coverage tomorrow. As you know, there are 2 games tomorrow, and we're making plans, of course, to cover both games. So stations along the line, we'll be talking to you very, very soon. Well, when I say very, very soon, maybe early in the morning after I go for my early morning jog. We will certainly talk to you about the whole question of the games tomorrow. Thanks, Phillips, for being very much a part of the commentary team. All that is left for me to say is good night to you. We'll see you tomorrow.
You've just heard commentaries of the T20 World Cup, a production of the Cut and Drive Network. Join us again for more on Cut and Drive.
This moment is all that I've been dreaming of. Well, focus. Somewhere I feel it in my soul. One chance is everything we've waited for. It's our time, so let me take it home.